This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately. Hello, freakazoids. Okay, I'm going to try to open up this audio software, so it might make some weird sounds. Hold on. Might have to turn it down, because sometimes it'll just go nuts on me. See what happens. We'll just wait for people to get here, by the way. How's it going? All right. Thanks, Zozo. You're entering the hostile zone. Oops. Update there. Thank you, Kate. Okay, so something crazy might happen here. Just a second. Oh, it's like updating this software. I hadn't opened it yet. Hold on. What the hell's going on here? It's the software that allows me to have my sounds. So here it goes. Let's see what happens. I could see it just going crazy on me. It's done it before. Okay, there it is. Okay, sometimes it gets really creepy. It starts echoing and making loud noises. Just like me, you know. Somebody said I was creepy. Gray's creepy. Ooh. Alright, here we go. Okay, the echoes. Oh, I think it might work. Let's see. Yeah. Chewbacca.
Chewbacca?
Thank you, Jess Trombley.
You want me to?
There we go. So that did work. Thank you, and thank you to Kate up there. Yeah, so what I thought I would do is just go through and, you know, all the basic information again. And in reality, the basic information is mainly the information that's been put out there. Okay? There's a lot of random, wild speculation out there that, you know, people can talk about it. I just try not to do much of that on this show. I try to put out stuff that, you know, there's some stuff that I've put out that I have a strong faith that it's true. And so I've brought it out there as a possibility. Okay? So that has happened. So not every single thing that I'm confident with has been said by law enforcement. Yeah. All right, so let me move over to this. Before we get onto that, though, I have to update you guys on a couple crazy, just wild stuff going on here. in the Bahena Rivera case, the Mollie Tibbetts case. Look at this. Look at this wild
just
stuff
coming
here.
into our newsroom this midday. Sentencing has been delayed for Christian Bahena Rivera. This after his defense team filed new motions that link his case and the death of Mollie Tibbetts to the disappearance of Xavier Harrelson. Instead, the court will discuss the new motions tomorrow in Montezuma. On May 28th, a jury convicted Bahena Rivera of killing University of Iowa student 20-year-old Mollie Tibbetts. She disappeared in July 2018 while jogging in her hometown of Brooklyn, Iowa. Bahena Rivera admitted to police that he put Tibbetts' body in a cornfield in rural Poweshiek County and then led authorities to that location about a month later. Bahena Rivera took the stand in his trial, but he claimed two men forced him to drive his vehicle while they abducted and killed Tibbetts. Earlier this week, TV9 reported on another new filing from Bahena Rivera's defense team. They say an inmate claimed a former cellmate admitted to seeing Tibbetts bound and gagged at a 50-year-old man's home in the days before her murder.
Well, it turns out the 50-year-old man that was in the document that we went over yesterday is somebody that dated the mother of Xavier Harrelson and was apparently part of a sort of a ring of sex trafficking. I mean, I don't know. See, to me, it feels like they just sort of, that was out there as a rumor, like, wow, it's so close to Mollie Tibbetts. Hey, Gray, what do you think about that? Okay, well, you know, these people, I don't know how this all came about. I just don't buy this whole thing. It doesn't make any sense. We went over it. This Rivera guy right here, he said that his he was forced to drive out to the location where Mollie Tibbetts was missing on that very same day. Yet the story that these people are telling in prison talk about how she was in one of these houses, you know, being prepped for sex trafficking, and things went wrong, so they decided to kill her. And then they went, hey, we can pin it on this one guy, and that would take days. Okay, so I don't know. This just doesn't seem right to me. It seems like there was something intentionally created in prison to start this whole ball rolling here. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Lori Newland, have no idea. All right, so we got that, and I just think it's totally bogus, to be honest with you. Now, if there's information that comes out later, then, you know, wow, that's all I can say. You know, he could definitely later say, well, I wasn't sure when they had me drive out there. I didn't know what day that was. Right? He could definitely claim that. He could say that he was in that area for a different reason. Remember, he had to rent the or take the air conditioner. Remember that? All right, so that's that update on that case. Then also, you guys remember this case right here, the case of it was Teresa Balboa who murdered Samuel Olsen. You remember that one? That case where he was found in like a tote at a hotel. Do you guys remember that one? Okay, I'm just doing quick updates now for the regular viewers. We'll get to Delphi here in a minute. So listen to this.
Now to a developing story that has gained nationwide attention. The woman accused of killing 5-year-old Samuel Olsen has new legal representation. KPRC2's Kathy Hernandez has new details on the high-profile attorney who is taking Teresa Balboa's case.
Good afternoon. High-profile attorney Anthony Asso.
Listen to it. You know how like attorneys have to put their name in a pool and they have to be public defendants sometime? She got like top A+ attorney, like one of the ones that gets paid millions of dollars a year. It's just insane. How do you get that?
Has just been assigned to the case, and he spoke to us outside the courtroom saying Teresa Balboa is very concerned. Balboa is charged with capital murder, accused of killing 5-year-old Samuel Olsen. Court documents say Balboa killed Samuel in her Webster apartment in May. They say she took his body to a storage unit before driving to a Jasper motel. The ME determined Samuel died of blunt force trauma. Prosecutors say they upgraded her charge based on forensic evidence, phone records, and statements from Balboa's roommate.
She did it.
We talked to Asso, who says the first step
feel bad
now
for the
is
attorney,
putting
actually.
together a defense team.
It's a slow process.
Look at that. Everybody's seen
We
this
ask
guy.
people to keep an open mind. It's an unfortunate situation, and we don't have all the evidence in the case yet, and we don't. It's going to take us a while to figure this out.
Balboa's roommate Benjamin Rivera and Dylan Walker.
I mean, wow. What are the odds that she gets like one of the best you could ever possibly imagine? Yeah, unbelievable. You know? Sick. All right, now we're moving on to Delphi. Those are the two updates. I don't really want to sit there and do some wild conspiracy theories on the Mollie Tibbetts case because, to me, it didn't make sense. The stories told by the inmates, or the inmate, to two different people, don't add up to the same story that Rivera told himself. Doesn't make sense. But we'll see. Maybe there was some wiggle room in there that I wasn't aware of. Well, I don't know if they want to have me on. I'll definitely go on if they want me to. They were asking the viewers, Steve, if people want me on. Of course, you always get a few trolls that show up and whatnot, but I definitely would go on there. I just watched their third installment. Some of the stuff I agree with, some I don't. But that's just kind of the way it is, right? Out there. Derrick, one of the co-hosts, he mentioned some things that I totally agree with about that the killer was aware of the traffic and he knew exactly he knew for sure that there was nobody in front of him. Okay, but anyways, let me go through this for the people out there that always come in and complain and bitch and moan because I didn't go over the entire case again on every single show. I've only done this 1,000 times. Okay, but we're going to do it again. All right, so this is all by memory here. Leaving Abby, we're over at Becky's house over here. They were, doing stuff for Becky. They got up, had breakfast. Derrick made them pancakes. And so at one point they said, hey, we want to go to the Monon High Bridge. And Becky said, well, you can go as long as you have a ride there and a ride back. Well, they secured a ride there with Kelsey, Libby's older sister, and then they were going to get a ride back from Derrick, the biological father of Libby. Okay? And Mike and Becky are the grandparents who had full custody. Mike is a step-grandfather, and Becky is the grandmother on the paternal side. All right. Wait, what's going on? Brian Smith. I thought Brian Smith, aren't you from Crime Scene Flow Zero? Aren't you from my Facebook group? I don't know if that was a negative comment that he just made there. Not sure what it means. All right, but anyways, so at about I'd say about 1:20, they probably left the house, maybe even a little later, 1:25, and then they were driven this way. Now, Derrick was heading to Frankfurt to take some photographs for Becky, and then on the way back was going to stop by and pick them up, and that was going to take 1.5 to 2 hours. All right? So Kelsey drove just like this. This is the exact route. Becky actually drove it for me and got the information from Kelsey. These are the only two different ways. You could go this way or this way, and this is the way, the green line. Driving like this, down, and then right here, drive by the cemetery, and then right at this location, Kelsey pulls into here with both of them in the vehicle at about 1:37. Then they got out of the vehicle. They said goodbye and everything. I think Kelsey, what did she give her, a sweatshirt or something? I can't remember that exactly. Right. I thought that was a decent comment. Brian, don't worry about it. All right. So right here, they start walking. And I have that. So I'll tell you it in just a quick form, is that they walk like this down the trail, and then they get to the bridge here, past platform 1, and then just past platform 2, Libby takes a shot of the entire bridge that way, and then they continue walking in that direction. And then Libby gets on platform 3 and takes a photograph back this direction of Abby on the bridge, and that's at 2:07. And then right at that point, they continue walking across the bridge. And then at some point, I think they noticed that there was somebody following, and instead of passing him on the bridge, they probably went to the end of the bridge. And Libby was much quicker than Abby. Abby had never crossed the bridge before. Libby had done it many times. And so Abby's a little bit slower. Libby's standing at the end of the bridge. This guy's hustling to catch up to him. And at that point is when Libby pulled out her camera, holding it low by her side, and surreptitiously filmed the killer. Okay, and then there's some conversation about, oh, is he right behind us? Where should we go? That kind of thing. Abby gets behind Libby at the end of the bridge, and the killer walks off and then says something like, "Hey guys," as he's passing. And then after he gets past him, there's a click heard. They believe that was when he pulled out a gun, and then he said, "Down the hill," right? Then he probably just pointed down the hill with the gun. Then they went down the hill, and that would get him to the private drive right here. Then there's another hill that you go to get to the very bottom. And one of my theories was that he meant to take them here the whole time, but maybe one of them tried to run, and maybe that's why one of Libby's shoes was found on this side. They cross. He caught up with them over here. I do think that he, killed one of them first to get them sort of out of the way. One of them had to have been killed first if he's by himself, right? So that's kind of obvious. And I think based on the information that we've heard out there, that was probably going to be Abby. So, Libby, unfortunately, probably had to watch her best friend be killed. Libby and Abby were best friends. They did sports together. They hung out all the time. I mean, they were just like classic best friends, right? They would have been friends forever. I mean, they were just best friends. All right, so let me go through. I got a couple of these videos open up here. This is the Flow 3 video that I made. The first video that I made that showed the relative route in the case was made on February 22nd, 2017, just 9 days after the murders. I made a much better version, so you get a feel for it. The video's pretty shaky, but this is exactly what it looked like. And I put the video out on March 27th, but the video's from prior to that. So this is right around that time, not even, we're talking about maybe 4 or 5 weeks after the murders when this video was taken for me to use in the video. Okay, so I'm going to play this, and you'll get to see the relative route here, and then I'll switch over to another video showing you the animation on the bridge, and at that point you should have a really good feeling of how things were going. Alright, so I'm going to play this first, and this has sadly my computer voice, It's not that one, great. Yeah, it's not that one that Tinny just threw in there. It's an actual voice that I would just write in what I wanted it to say. That was before I used my actual voice. Okay, now it's my real name and yes, everybody, my real name is Lance. Ooh, you tricked everybody. You went and found it. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Even though I've told the story 1,000 times, my name is, when I was born, it said L. Gray Hughes on the birth certificate. Okay, and then the doctor who was a family friend, he goes, L, what the hell is that? And he wrote Lance on there, okay? So my official name is Lance, but I was always going to be called Gray, and there was going to be a first initial. So it always causes me a headache. Now, you can call me Gary, Greg, Craig, whatever. I'll probably respond to it, all right? But you're not super sleuthy when you call me Lance, okay? People think they're, hey, Lance, hey, I got you, man. Hey, I've only told this story 57,000 times, all right? Okay, here we go. This is the...
And began their...
So this is the Flow 3 video.
Abby and Libby were dropped off here and
right
began their
dropped
walk
off.
to the Monon High Bridge.
That's right here. They're just walking like this. Okay, right like that. Oops. And now they're going to get to the intersection where they turn left onto the 501 trail. That's 505 on the right there. That's the one that Derrick went down when he got there at 3:14 and started looking for it. Only 73 Metal Madness? Okay. Yeah, I mean, so this is what it looked like. I mean, I don't know if you guys want to watch this entire walk. You can if you want to, but I can also fast forward it to, like, further down the trail. Alright, like right there that I just did. Yeah, this right here is exactly the reality, the flow of the crime. Okay, now everyone says now, oh, it's so obvious, but no, it really wasn't. And if you were around for the first 3 months, you'd know exactly what I'm talking about. All these people now have the benefit of the work that we all did way back then to put it together, and even then, people still come out with completely bogus information. They'll tell you that they were dropped off at the start of the bridge, that the crime scene was like a quarter mile away. Yeah. These are just like when you were a kid, right? So right around and up in this area is where you can see both ways. You can see the start of the bridge, and you can see where the the beginning of the trails. So right now see where it's starting to curve right here, just like that. It's not far at all, by the way. People say it's a really far walk, but watch. That's only a quarter of a mile from that junction here to the start of the bridge. It's not far at all. The other trail's off to the right. Let me show you. I'll show you. It's right here. You can actually make it out. It's right there, and it goes down. Can you guys see that right there? And then
The video is approaching the red gates that many claim are actually people in the photo with Abby in it. As you can see, it's merely a gate with a tree.
yes, everybody, hit that like button, would you? Or subscribe, whichever you feel like it. Now, 501 is only a little over a quarter of a mile. That's it. Maybe from where you park, a third of a mile. So there's these red barriers here that people claimed were people for a long time. Still people do when they just glom onto the case right away. They go, oh, look, there was people. Instead of realizing that if they just look it up, it's been debunked 1,000 times. Those aren't people, they're metal barriers. They look a lot different, right? They don't have arms and everything. And they're red and they're made out of metal. So now we're on the bridge. That's platform 1 on the right there. And I'll be showing you exactly where... Hey, thank you, Nona617. I'll be showing you exactly where both the photographs
Platform 1
that
is
are out there.
47 feet from the start of the northwest end of the bridge.
So just after platform 2 on the left there, that's where the first full-length image was taken of the bridge. And I literally prove exactly where those were, and that's how it led to the flow of the crime, because we were able to determine exactly where the photographs were taken, because my buddy Beth went out there, and Bonnie, and they went out there and they really spent a lot of time
Platform 2
for
is
me.
187 feet from the northwest end of the bridge. Shot 1.
I know, it makes you kind of...
Platform 2 Divine is 42
They definitely
feet
didn't have-
9 inches, approximately 36 feet to Libby's camera location and approximately 236 feet from the north.
Yeah, Ange, Texas gal. Yeah, they didn't have on image stabilization, that's for sure.
Northwest end of the bridge.
So look at right here. See that little vine on the ground? Boom. Watch this. Right there. Boom. Even everything else is the same too. So that's where that photo was taken, 100%. There's no doubt about it.
Approximately 97 feet further
not-
from
you
the
can't go,
Vine is
"Well,
platform
maybe."
3,
No, it was really it.
333 feet from the northwest end of the bridge.
And then Libby gets onto platform 3 here, turns around and takes a picture of
Shot
Abby.
2.
Still walking.
Libby positions herself on platform 3 and takes a picture of Abby. Abby is 13 feet 4 inches from the edge of the platform. The image is taken at 2:07 p.m. on February 13th, 2017.
That's right there. Well, I could have found a better angle, but that was
Abby and
that
Libby
was the exact
continue
spot. She was
southeast.
standing right there. And here we go. Yeah, well, Abby had never crossed it before, so it was pretty amazing that she did it. But try to picture, would you ever go back? Let's say there was somebody walking towards you, and you're in the middle. Would you go to the other side, or would you walk past that person on this really narrow bridge? I think I'd go to the other side and hope that they turned around. But
Platform 4 is approximately
Just like they did.
474 feet from the northwest end of the bridge and 382 feet from the southeast end.
So you can see up in the upper right, I have the overhead map and everything.
Forked tree. These trees are what make up the forked tree in the background of the suspect image, as you will see later. The forked tree is approximately 567 feet from the northwest end of the bridge and 289
Everything looks so
feet from the
close
southeast end.
because of the angle of the camera and the type of camera.
Platform 5 is the platform behind the suspect in the video still. It's also approximately 625 feet from the northwest end of the bridge and
Where are you getting that from,
225
Al?
feet from the
That's
southeast end.
Al says, is it a fact Libby took the video under no duress? Meaning, is it possible BG already had control, then Libby took the video? No, it's not possible whatsoever. No, it's an interesting thought. Are you kidding me? Man, that's...
When viewing the suspect image, there is an unusual bright spot on the side rail to the right of and behind the suspect's right
So that's the
calf.
damaged side rail right
This will
there.
be shown later. Platform 6 is 70 feet from the end of the southeast end of the bridge, while the suspect is approximately 73 feet.
I think they're a little bit closer than that, 60 feet. It was later determined. This is before that was figured out. Yeah, but that's not even a possibility. Like, I'm not sure how that could even be possible, Al. You see the suspect 60 feet away walking towards them. How did he have control?
Abby and Libby were off at the southeast end of the bridge when Libby shot video of the suspect. The suspect is heading towards them in the video stills.
So the camera should be over another 2 feet to the left, at least. But like this shot right here, see?
As you can see, the light area, as discussed earlier, is on side rail in both images.
We all know, Al.
Platform 5 and the fork tree are behind the. Note that the stripes of the railroad ties on the underlying video match the suspect image as well.
And there's a little bit of a drop off.
The suspect likely forced Libby and Abby down the hill at the southeast end of the bridge.
Yeah, like this video's been on YouTube for 4 years, and some of you are like, wow, where'd this come from? You know, it's bizarre. I don't know how some people haven't seen it, but really strange. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. This Al guy, he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. You're wrong, Pam. You misread what he said. He said the video was taken while they were already under control. How is that possible? So this is what it looks like down there. There's the private drive. See, this is where when people say, gosh, Gray, you're so mean. You know, hey, when I see lunacy, I call it out. And if you don't say something that makes sense, I'm not going to let you get away with it if it doesn't make sense. It doesn't help the conversation if you're absolutely off. No, it's not. Anything isn't possible, Pam. You're not correct. So he was already under control. Then he ran 60 feet away, and he... Give me a break. God, lunacy. Well, you sound like one, Pam, unfortunately, after all that time.
It is very shallow.
Yes, I've been covering it since the night they were missing, too, but with a logical mind, unlike yours.
Over here to the actual creek.
So there's the...
I just want to give people...
Julie Melvin shot this video here.
Again, like the guy had in the video.
She's mentioning me, that bent tree, because I found that on Google Earth. And based on a reporter shot of the crime scene, it showed that across the creek, the bent tree, and that's how everything came together at that point.
You can go over here and cross. So you're already in the middle. You cross there, you're already in the middle, and you don't have too much further to go. And God bless those.
So there's a little bit of a bank over there, but it's not really high, and then it almost goes down to nothing down there. It actually seems like it looks a little different now than it did back then. So that was it right there.
And
see this video right here? You can see the yellow tape, and then a reporter took this shot, and there's that tree on the other side of the creek. They were right next to the crime scene, and that's how I was able to put it all together at the time. So there you go. And those are the people: Bonnie Raitt, Julie Melvin, Mother Climb, and WTHR. All right. Okay. So now a representation of their relative movements on the bridge was in this video here. Okay. So what we just had in chat a minute ago is what the exact reason why people, they think, oh gosh, Gray, he's so rude. He's so rude. Somebody up there literally said, wow, if she was not under duress, is it possible he was already under control of them? And you see in the video, he's like 60 feet away walking towards them. And we already all know that after that, they said, he's right behind us, isn't he? Oh, which way to go? Which way are we going? That doesn't make any sense, okay? It doesn't make any sense at all. And so I'm able to eliminate those kind of things. And what I don't want is for you... anybody in there to take anything like that seriously for even 5 seconds. Because as soon as you do that, you've lost track, and now your mind's all over the place. Okay, I mean, anybody can do whatever the hell they want. I'm just telling you that on this show, when I see that kind of stuff, I call it out, and I can tell you when something's bullshit right off the bat. Ah, man. Hey, Pam, you've been following this case the whole time, and you don't know something like that? Man, what a troll. Let me see. Okay, so here is the animation that took me a long time to make, because you actually have to use 3D Studio Max and then a shadow catcher to make it look like there's shadows on an already created video cast by the people. Yeah. Now Pam's a comedian laughing around, even though she believed that stuff. So anyways, that was the first shot of the bridge, and then she gets up on the platform 3 over here, turns around. You know, it's hard to get the exact, but this is just the relative movements. I don't know which railroad tie in that shot it was. So there's the shot back. It's amazing how little people know that have been following this for so long. I guess they've been watching, well, the wrong channels. Let's see. So it's like this. You know, this is just a representation, but you know, Abby's still on the bridge and he's catching up, and you know, probably trying to, and then she gets off and gets behind him. There's probably a little bit more that she got off and got behind him than he came. Oh, you go by what MSM says? Wow, okay. Well, anyway, I'm going to have to let you go there. Let's see. I've already have, Al. 100 times, and you're out of here too, okay, clown? That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Back up your statement with facts. Oh, God. Well, they're gone. Hopefully other trolls will show up. Yeah. Becky said, when people would say, hey, watch Gray's video, that's about what it looked like, okay? And I've talked to, I just have a whole bunch of different conversations that I've had with people who have actually seen the video. Well, for some reason, whack job crazy people show up whenever we cover the Delphi case. Hey Joshua, I am insulting to idiots like you. Do you get that? Okay. See, when people say you're pretty insulting to people that watch your show, listen. On my channel, if you cannot, if you bring something up that is not reasonable or rational at all, and I call it out, and you keep arguing it, then it's not going to work out well for you, okay? So this is an actual true crime channel that gives a shit about facts. I'm not going to entertain complete bullshit by a lot of people out there, okay? Like just, oh yeah, what about the, hey, anything's possible, right? Okay, I'm just not going to do it. So if it offends you, then don't watch. That's just kind of the way it works. I've said that to you 1,000 times. Do not watch. Now, when I'm talking to other experts or people like that, it's a much different conversation than it is when we have wackos that show up, and after I read 2 comments that are absolutely ludicrous. I mean, I'm going to say it again, everybody. The first comment was that, hey, isn't it possible that he already had control of the girls when Libby was filming him? Does that make any sense to anybody? Anybody? How is that possible? He's 70 feet away over there. He's coming towards them. And then they start saying the stuff that they say. Okay. Well, no, I'm just going over it, Ange Tex Gal, okay? Because I have to, I want people to realize that when I'm talking like that, it's to the right people. It's not just random. So here we go. So I think it was something just like this. They take the first shot, you get over here, and then you'll see later, when you can see the other direction, you can see somebody coming from a distance. Oh, right. Yeah, there you go. Well, no, Lori, just say whatever you want to say, and if it doesn't make sense, I'll tell you. But that's where it stops, and at that point, you got to realize, oh, yeah, that doesn't make sense. That's it. People can say whatever the hell they want to say. But I can say whatever I want to say back, right? Yep, that's definitely possible that he's been out there after the fact. I mean, hell, he could have been one of the searchers for all we know. See, look, that's how I picture it, that he's coming on the bridge. And here he comes. She's probably like, hey, hurry up, hurry up. And there he goes. And that shadow, come on, you guys. The shadow that I put on there was tough. It was brutal. Okay, so there you go. That is, those two right there kind of show you the overall motions. It was right here, down this trail, stopped here, took a photograph of the full length of the bridge that direction, then got on platform 3. Libby took a photograph that way. Then they got back on the track, walked across. At some point, the killer was following. And it's amazing. Look how far back that forked tree is in reality. And the killer was way up here, past platform 6. And the platform that you see behind him is like, well, let's measure it. It is 145 feet behind him. But when you look in this picture here, it doesn't look like that. Okay, now this is one that I did the other night on the show, and I think you guys will find this interesting. I found a photograph, and no, these people back here were there the day that somebody shot the footage that I'm using behind. Okay, don't be try to be sleuthy and go, oh, look, there's people back there. Who are those? You know, yes, because you can see there's a square here that this is an overlay on top of another picture. Okay, all right. So I took one that had a little better angle. Still needs to be in about another foot to the left and down maybe 6 inches. But watch this. Okay, so right there, and then watch when I turn it on and off. And what I would do back in the day is see these lines here? Use those like tree ring dating. Watch this. Okay, that's not the right one. Let me turn it on. You'll be able to see it in just a second. I gotta be able to see the eye. There it is. Is it that one? No. Oh, that's wild. What happened? Is that one? It's this one here. Oh, there we go. It's this one. Okay. So watch when I blink it back on. See that really light line? Can everybody see that light line right there? See that? Really light line, and this line right here, that dark one. And then these two right there. So just look at it like 1, 2, 3. Now watch when I turn this off here. Watch this. Now watch it blinking on and off. Look how it stayed. They're right there. Boom. Especially this one and that light one. This right here is a little closer to there because the camera just needs to be lowered slightly. So just watch that again. You gotta turn that one off. Let me make it bigger for you guys. Right there. See that? It almost looks exactly the same. Now, the darkness on the side rail there is larger because the shadow's at a different angle. This shot here, it's almost all side rail with a little shadow, but there's more shadow on that. But look at the tree, the forked tree is almost exactly the same spot. But it's really the lines on the bridge. And we know that this is accurate. And see right there that little white nodule that you can see? You can see that in, like, for example, this video right here. Watch. See the white nodule right there? It comes in. And you can only see that if the camera's really low. And then you can see the whiteness of damaged railroad ties. These right here are actually about 4 feet of damaged railroad ties that look really close together because the camera's down really low. You can only see that off the end of the bridge, camera down low. So, and Libby intentionally videotaped the person by holding the camera by her side, trying to conceal it when the killer was heading towards them. It wasn't an accidental thing, like she wasn't filming Abby. Abby's in the shot, however. Yeah, it's crazy how far back this item right here is, just beyond platform 6. The platform is way back there in the tree, so let me go back up and show you that. So the damaged railroad ties that make that little white nodule looking thing are about right here. You can almost see it, that light area right there. That's exactly where it is. And then the platform 5 is way back here, and then the tree is way back here, but it's not just one tree. It's like 3 or 4 different trees that make that look right there. So it's not even a forked tree. It's one tree, then there's another one, and there's 3 different deals there. Okay. All right, so why don't you guys look at that, and I'll be back in just a second. All right, hold on a second. Yeah, good times, good times. Okay, I guess you couldn't see the other screen again. Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter if you live in Indiana. You can't have a POI if you're just a regular person. Why? Why, Lori? And no, I can't. Yeah, I think it's a hoodie over the top of a hat. Like a baseball cap. You know, like if I put a hoodie over this, it'd be kind of... That's what I think. Yeah. All right, so... at first, the girls were just missing. Nobody knew how to clue where they were. And remember, Derrick was supposed to pick them up. So he came back from Frankfurt. He was way down here. And he drove up this direction. And then he cuts across like this. And then he goes over the Wilson Bridge right here at 3:11. And then he pulls into the, drives past the cemetery, then pulls into the parking area at about 3:14 apparently. And then and they know that because he tried texting and calling them, but they didn't answer. So then he got out and he walked to here, and then he spoke to one of the McCain brothers, the flannel shirt guy, I guess. And he said that when Derrick said, "Hey, did you see two girls over there?" He goes, "No, I just saw a couple under the bridge, or down by the bridge there." Nobody really knows exactly where. There's been said so many different things, like down below, or but there was a couple there. Apparently they were like arguing or something. So then Derrick thought, well, which is logical, he said to himself, okay, they must not be at the bridge anymore. And he'd been out there, obviously, so he went down the 505 trail like this. And it's actually a big drop, like you can't see up to the trail up there anymore, 501. And then he went down here, didn't see anything, then he walked back up. Then he gets back to this area at about 3:30. I don't know what, something just froze over here on the screen. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. Something froze up. The graphics just went. Got a lot of stuff open right here. So then he walks back up the 505 trail. And this is when he started calling people now, wondering where they were. And then while they were all trying to show up, or get there, he walked from this area to the Freedom Bridge. And actually, that picture isn't a good one. This is the one that should be used at all times. April 2017. All right, so he walks. You can actually see this trail better now on this image. And this satellite footage here is only 2 months after the girls were murdered. And so then Derrick walks all the way to the Freedom Bridge and back. And he got back here at about 4, and that's when people started showing up and everybody started searching. They searched all the way through the evening. Law enforcement left. I think it was like late in the evening at some point. But there were still other people out searching. And I just think, even if there were people that made it over to this side, there wouldn't have been a lot of people, because why would the girls have crossed the creek? Because they already had seen the Snapchat image of them going this way. So there was a lot of people searching over here. You actually see them on the news, people walking around. And even if there were people walking over here, they're looking for somebody alive. Like you're going, hey, anybody out? Hey, Abby, Libby, anybody out there? Looking for a person. Okay, apparently they ended up being down. They weren't alive and they were near the ground, right? Or on the ground. And that just would have been hard to see way over here. So they would have been walking. And then there was a guy that flew a drone out there with night vision, apparently. But when I talked to him, he didn't know where he'd flown it. And I could imagine people saying, oh yeah, make sure you go over here. And it just might have been, you just didn't see it. Okay? Now, the thing is the law enforcement said that they were killed where they were found. So they weren't put there later. They weren't somewhere else. Anything like that. Thank you, Gwendolyn B. Up there. I missed that. And yes, if you'd like to support this channel, I would appreciate it. I actually do 3 hours of shows every single night. And at the end of the month, we donate to charities as well, true crime charities. And when I say that, it's not some piddly amount. This channel has donated $44,000 from the income from the channel. Okay, $44,000 since January 2020. So if you're helping my channel out, you're also helping out charities as well. Okay, because that's part of what we're doing. We also have, part of that is raising funds in a DNA fund that we've already spent, I think 10,000 of the 13,000 has been spent already. And we're trying to get the final sequencing of a 1961 hitchhiker and another case that is a criminal case. So that one I did talk about once on the show, but now I can't talk about it until it's all been, and then it'll be uploaded to GEDmatch, and then we'll get a genealogist. And this is through Identifinders International, run by Dr. Colleen Fitzpatrick, and with their amazing staff over there. So there you go. So unlike other places who claim they're doing this and that, we actually do it. And I prove it and show it at the end of each month. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. The killer, I think that must have been around 2:20-ish when he was over here. And then he gets him over here. Let's just say he got him over here by 2:35. Well, Cheyenne, another individual that just was randomly at the bridge, she was out there at, a little bit before 3 o'clock. So you're starting to get this, a little bit of an overlap period, maybe even like 2:45 over on this side. And then maybe this guy sped things up a little bit because he heard a voice. Prior to that, there was not a soul. See, that's the thing, everybody. When the killer took Abby and Libby, or followed Abby and Libby, Abby, Libby, and the killer were the only people in this entire area, right here, other than people that maybe live here. But they were the only people in this entire area. He knew that. He was watching and monitoring. And then he got him across, and when he got him down the hill, they were still the only people. Now, there might have been somebody just pulling in up here, and then maybe like 2:45, she shows up here, and now and then that couple obviously showed up at, well, see, here's the thing, is the couple was there when Cheyenne was there, but I think Cheyenne might have been by herself for a lot of that, and then ran into the friends maybe perhaps when she was leaving, because the flannel shirt guy, that was about 3:15. He probably saw those people at like 3:10. So probably right around like at 2:45, things started to change up. Thank you, LN. What are you referring to, Ronnie? From the parking lot to what area? Well, here's the thing. Can you guys all see the green this green line here? From the parking area, and it goes all the way to the crime scene. Can you see that? Now watch this. I'm going to right-click on the line, Properties, and that's all. Guess how far that is. Everybody throw out a guess how long that is from the parking area all the way across and down and to the crime scene. Just like that. Well, it only takes 6 minutes to walk from the parking area to the start of the bridge. Yeah, it's 0.6 miles. Yeah, it's not far at all. 0.62 miles. That's from right here at the parking area, all the way down across the 800-foot bridge, 860-foot bridge, down the hill, across the creek, and to the crime scene. It's only 0.62 miles. So you have a lot of people out there that were saying that it was a half mile from the start of the bridge to the crime scene, which is totally bogus. It's still a lot of misinformation that's put out there. Yeah, it's not far at all. It's just nothing. And it takes about 6 minutes to walk from right here at the 501 trail to the start of the bridge, if that. I mean, if you were walking at a brisk pace, it would definitely be a lot quicker than that, because that's only it's a little over a quarter of a mile, and you can walk a mile in probably 12 minutes if you're just walking. Well, if you're walking 5 miles an hour, it's 12 minutes. So if you're walking a quarter of a mile, it would probably take maybe 3.5 minutes if you're walking at a good pace. 6 minutes if you're just kind of slowly walking. Thank you, Charles Godwin and D&K Reck. Right, that means you're walking 5 miles an hour, Kit. Now, we don't know the exact amount of time take the girls to do what he did and leave totally. Well, we don't really know, but apparently the killer was still in the area for 20 to 30 minutes of the time that Derrick was there. So Derrick got there at 3:14, so that means that at 3:34 to 3:44 the killer was in the area still, which is crazy, right? That means this over here is like 2:30-ish, but we don't really know. That's the thing is, I mean, it's actually possible that the girls were, well, here's the thing, Cheyenne and them narrow the window down because they would have seen the girls. So it had to have been probably around 2:20 to 2:30 when the girls were over here, and then the killer, I think, probably walked up like this, not through the cemetery, walked like this, and then got back on the trail at some point. And isn't it weird, because watch this, Derrick right here, maybe when he was down at the 505 trail, this guy came back on this trail, and he just happened to pass Derrick when he was down there. Because that makes total sense, right? Because at 3:15, Derrick's here, and then he goes down the 505 trail, and then that took him almost 15 to 20 minutes to get back up. And then that's the time that maybe the killer came back onto the trail and walked this way. Now they do want to know who the owner or the driver of the vehicle that was parked here at the abandoned CPS building is. They wanted to know that. Because I think that there are witnesses. I spoke to the witness. He was in the newspaper or a video on Google somewhere. And he said that he saw it. And so I called him up. He said something. And then I called him up and he admitted that he did see it. He said it was an older model vehicle. He saw it parked there at 8:45 in the morning. Then he went to work over here, and then when he left at 2:45, 2:45, I think he said. Was it 2:45 or 2? Yeah, I thought it was quarter, or was it 2:15? Ah, yeah, that sucks. I can't remember now. Let's see. Hold on. I think it was 2:15 actually. I think. Don't quote me on that, but it's either 2:15 or 2:45. My brain lost it. Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about, Shelley. We're going to have to remove your... Yeah, I think it was 2:15, right. So when he came out of here at 2:15... That's right, it is 2:15. When he came out of here, he saw the car still parked there at 2:15 when he left. Okay, now, somebody on the show a while back was pretty wise. I think they were accurate. Because there was also information that law enforcement sees a person on a bicycle, and they see Derrick get there, and then they also see somebody on a bicycle, but they returned in the correct amount of time, so they ruled him out as a suspect. Okay, but then you ask yourself, well, what did they see, those Derrick and the bicyclist? Well, Derrick came in this direction, so it would have to be a camera over here, or a camera right here. And maybe there was a camera on the side of this building filming the parking area, and maybe that's when they showed Derrick pulling in. Or maybe it's like right there, and well, see, that wouldn't make... It'd have to be right here, and a bicyclist went by, and because here's the thing, they needed help to figure out what kind of vehicles were parked here, so it's hard to believe that they could actually see the parking area. So maybe on the side of that building, let's say. I mean, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. It's filming the street. Derrick drives by, and then a bicycle a bicyclist drives by, and then he comes back. And then what if the 20 minutes that they came up with, that the killer was there when Derrick was there, is because after he walked down, he got that same exact vehicle described by the witnesses, an older model vehicle, drives this direction and then passes right there. And now they say, oh, there's that car that was described. That drove by there at 3:35. And now they think, wow, he was still in the area at that time. Okay, boom. I think that makes sense. It might not be the case at all. That's speculation. So you have that. So, and what else was? And there's a person that told me a lot of this stuff. He was right on a whole bunch of different things. He was right on that they didn't have a very good DNA sample. He was right on, he told me that there was a sketch that was originally created and it wasn't out yet. That was in 2018, way before that second sketch was released. He's the one that told me that they believe the suspect was there for 20 minutes of the time that Derrick was there. And then that information was confirmed by somebody that would know. And so that was interesting. And then the same person was talking about the crime scene. He said that Libby had some bruising on her wrists or something like that, and maybe she was dragged. Now he speculated on where she was dragged from and things like that. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, LM. A lot of times when you do these Delphi nights, you got so many crazy people that show up for some reason. They've been lurking in so many of the toxic wastelands of Facebook and other YouTube channels that merely cover the Delphi case and accept every single theory. And so they come in and they're so angry. It's really strange. Yeah, it's wild. And then they get upset when you say something back. Yeah, it's really strange. Yeah. I mean, early on I covered it every single day because I wanted to figure out what was going on. Now I do the Sunday shows. Tonight I did a show because I was mentioned on another show, and I figured people would be interested in talking about it. So there we go, everybody. If you want to call in, there's the number. You can call in and say what you think, okay? Now, at the original press conference, I think it was way back on the 22nd, I think, of February 2017. That's when they released the still frame and the down the hill. That one, right? And then 2 years later, they released the video that the still frame came from. And as we've stated 1,000 times, the video is actually a cropped out from a much larger video that was filmed. And in that video are other, probably, Abby's probably in it. And then the phone kind of goes down low, starts filming the ground. That's what I was told, things like that. Sort of useless stuff. And then maybe put in a pocket. So it's still filming video, but the audio is really the only useful part at that point, because it's in a pocket. So how long that kept filming and recording audio, we don't know. Okay, we don't know the answer. Nah, probably not. Zip ties, come on. Oh, man. He doesn't, let's see. Yeah, I think it's funny how people try to sleuth out so much from his voice. The reason his voice is out there is that perhaps somebody who knows him would recognize the voice and the look at the same time. That's why the video and the audio need to be put on the news way more. It's just not put out there anywhere near as much as it should be. Also, I think the sketches at this point are virtually meaningless. I don't mean to, disparage that whole industry, but when you put out two images that look absolutely nothing alike, I mean, you can pretend that they look alike, but they look like, one looks like a hobo with a beard and sort of they put on a newspaper boy hat cap on him, and the other guy looks like Tom Cruise. All right. So if you can find me a hobo that looks like Tom Cruise, let me know. Yeah, but I don't think they look the same at all. And then you hear the stuff about, well, it's somewhere in between. Okay? Well, what does that mean? See, at that point, why not make a hybrid image, take both, and then put them together and say, hey, maybe like this. See, it doesn't look, we don't know what the guy looks like. And sketches are just sort of an attempt to describe visually by drawing what somebody described to the person drawing it. It's hard to make them look exactly like somebody, except on social media they'll take the actual sketch, put skin in there, and everybody's like, wow, that's so awesome. And it's so unhelpful. It just doesn't do anything for anybody. Yeah, I've seen it. It's ridiculous. Cash East. And if you liked that video, then you're part of the problem. Oh, cool. They liked it. Ooh, 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 ooh. Of how long it took him. I think it went like this. This is what I think in real life. Watch this. It went like this. Hey guys. Down the hill. There are probably a couple of little comments in between. Something like that. I think he said, hey guys, as he's approaching and passing him. And then right after that, pulls out a gun and says, down the hill. Kind of points it towards where he wants him to go. And he might have even said other things. We don't really know. There might be more in there, but it was too... it was deemed to be too sensitive for the family to have to hear over and over and over again. And I think there's might be stuff like that. What do you doubt? Nobody knows what you're talking about, Kit. You got to type in a full sentence. Yeah. Thank you, Rita Schaefer. Huh. If the car is the killer's, then I don't think he's from the area. Leaving your car in that visible spot, someone would have known. Well, that's a good point. That last one, pretty funny, Gray. Hobo Tom Cruise. Yep. Well, I try to throw a little humor in once in a while. Yeah, it's probably like this. Hey guys. Oh, well, the reality is they only admit that it says, guys, down the hill. I think it says, hey guy. I think it's like H apostrophe guys and then G apostrophe down the hill. That's what I think. It's like the, hey guys. It's a really quiet, hey, it's like the, hey guys, get down the hill. Get down the hill, like that. It's like it's just sort of blended together. That's how I hear it. All right, here we go. Here we go. And thank you, Rita Schaefer and JD up there. Thank you. All right, 719.
What's up, man? Timothy Cecil from the chat.
Oh, Timothy. Okay, good. How's it going?
Good, man. We're good.
Yeah.
My thing was the sketches. I'm not really... I don't know what the point of releasing those was, considering they're so different. It almost covers every known man that's, like, white in the United States, man. To me, you know?
Yeah, they're just so generic, you know?
But why do you think they released them, then? Like, why do you think they released sketches that were so different.
Well, I think the first one, it sounds like that they made the sketch from the video itself and a witness. And I did read something the other day that I forgot about, that I had these screenshots from that somebody sent, and I go, oh yeah, I remember like there was a couple witnesses that saw a person wearing a scarf over their face, and it makes you wonder if that little white squiggly thing that you see, that's exactly what that was. I don't know for sure, but that's what somebody said. But you can't really make a sketch out of somebody with a scarf on their face.
Oh, I see. I mean,
I'm just saying
that could be useful.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, that's something I would definitely would see as unusual if I was walking on a trail and someone had a scarf over their face. I mean, I mean, wouldn't you think that's kind of odd? I definitely would be like, whoa, I wouldn't think they killed someone, but I just find it like out of place,
Yeah. Well, the first sketch released was the second one made, but the first one that looked kind of like a hobo, I think that was sort of a hybrid, maybe a witness and what the video they thought looked like. And then the next one that they released was the first sketch made by a witness, and after there was no leads or anything that came, never led to anything, they decided to go back to the first sketch created. Kind of a reset. But, those are based on what somebody described, and they're not meant to be a photograph or anything, just a general likeness. But at this point, you've already kind of muddled it up with two completely different people.
Right, and also witness testimonies are, they're pretty unreliable a lot of times, if I'm correct. So I think that I am. But
yeah, definitely.
Because, what I mean? Like, it's a description of height and weight, people think differently on that. So, what I mean? Or what someone looked like,
Yeah.
It can vary greatly between two people that are just right there even. So
I remember somebody saying that they were certain that his eyes weren't blue. They went, well, I'm certain his eyes weren't blue. So to me, that means they were hazel. I mean, I actually read into that, because when somebody says they weren't, I'm certain they weren't blue. Well, you also know they aren't black, like jet black eyes or dark brown, because you would have seen that. So what you're saying is that they were like hazel, they just weren't blue, but kind of in that realm. I just know that they weren't blue. Okay, so to me it means that they were hazel eyes. Just some reading between the lines on that one. It sounds kind of weird to say, but it's
or even gray possibly, but most likely what you're saying.
Yeah, well,
something close. Yeah, because they would have said that's because they're going off their memory. You know what I mean? So like when someone says that, that means that they're you're right.
And apparently like reddish brown hair, and I don't know what else. But I remember that was from the very beginning, like reddish brown hair, and I think sort of like hazelish eyes.
How old do you think? I'm just gonna ask one more question before I get off. But how old do you think the suspect is actually? Like I was saying maybe 40. I would say he's more on the younger side, like 30 or 40 years old. So that's my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I think he's. I would say like 35 to 45. The 20 years old, it's hard to. I can't see that.
No.
He doesn't seem to.
No, it just seems like he like the kind of crime he committed to me is more of a developed sociopath type person. So I would say, he's 30, at least 30.
I agree with that.
So
yeah.
So I just hope sometime this gets solved, man. It's just so sad for their family. So they have to carry that burden for so long.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm hoping it gets solved soon. I think everybody is. So.
Yeah, that's what I want. Definitely what I want. So.
Right.
All right. Well, cool. I'll let you get back to it. I like
right.
your still like your show, man.
Well, I hope so. Well, thanks, Timothy. All right.
All right.
Appreciate
Take
it.
care, man.
All right, bye. Hey, Straight Drop, what's going on? Snapchat is a feature when you post it, can be viewed by anyone, and it'll show up on a map. Yeah, maybe now, but I'm not sure what they had in 2017. Yeah, I don't think it's Chadwell. The law enforcement doesn't seem to believe it's Chadwell. It's almost time for me to take a vacation, isn't it? Since we're a little bit slow tonight. Let's see. There we go. Oh, there we go. Thank you, everybody. I'll take a 10-minute break here, 15-minute break. And this is the time. If you'd like to help the channel out, feel free to do so. You know, buy me a drink or something on the beach. Yeah, I wish, Raven. I wish. Yeah, I don't think it's Chadwell. No Mankini. Hey, all right, straight drop. I'll pretend that this is one right here. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Kathy Freidenmaker. Da, 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 da. Thought it was muffled when the phone was in her pocket. Yeah, maybe, but I think you could hear it. And if it was rubbing against her leg while she was walking, it'd be hard.
Long Island.
Thank you, Andrea Jacobs. Miss Marple. There's an ice... You know what? I think it does sound good, like a cold beer. It's been a while.
Gatorade and tequila.
Yeah, I keep forgetting to go get that tequila. Yes, everybody hit that like button really quick. Oh, good. I was able to put you to sleep, LM. Awesome. Good to know. Good to know.
Cocktail time for Gray.
Oh my God, that picture of Margarita by Sandra Turner. Hey everybody, come join the island and share the picture. Claudia Neubauer. Yep, and thanks for that link yesterday,
Here's
Claudia.
a nice cold beer for you.
Some people go out and record. Yeah. I've had people go out, Beth and Bonnie, they went out there just for me to film various things for me to use. It was awesome. Thank you, Claudia Neubauer and Cat Lover 33. Yeah, I know some people don't like it when you stick with the facts. Or at least reasonable thinking based on the information. It's more fun to come up with crazy stuff like, hey, maybe he had them under control while he's 60 feet away coming towards them. Thank you. And thank you again, Sandra Turner. Those always help out a lot. So hey, Straight Drop, how's your what's going on over there? You still? I try going over there, but it seems like it's never live. Like you got to get back to where you used to be on there.
Gray.
Talking.
Thank you, Sandra Turner. Yay!
Why are you saying G?
Picture of margaritas.
I saw it. Some of the stuff I agree with, Sydney, and some I don't. Like Libby was filming intentionally, that's for sure. And on one of the other episodes, they seem to think that the camera angle is up really high, but it's not. It's really low. Thank you, Ange Tex Gal and Lanky Tour Baby Brown Bear Cub. Okay, there you go.
Thanks for always sticking to the
gotta
facts
go back
and
to
respecting
sort
the
of-
families, unlike so many other trash channels. Palm tree, palm tree, palm tree,
Well,
palm
thank you.
tree, ocean wave, ocean wave.
Yeah, like if you come in here and you accuse one of the family members of being the killer, you'll probably be removed within 10 seconds. Okay? That just happens. Chewbacca?
Chewbacca? Oh, I'll do Chewbacca if you want.
How much for that coconut, huh?
Thank you, freaks. 2
I
hearts.
guess $4.99. And if you're wondering where that Chewbacca sound came from, it came from when Cairo went to a hotel, went out to smoke a cigarette, opened the door, and a lady went, and then Cairo said, Chewbacca? And then she said, I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to be. So there you go. And he declined, thankfully. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for the vacation and helping out the channel and the charities at the end of the month. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's
How
pretty
much
weird.
For the coconut? Coconut.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Boom. Thank you guys. Really appreciate it. Do you think the bruises on the wrist, if true, came from moving them to the site in which... Well, we don't know. It could have just been that she was just a little bit of ways, maybe up the bank. I don't know. And that was just from the source that was accurate on other things. Okay, I don't have any way to verify any of that. On that show today, they did read on, was it Crime Weekly, I think? I think that's what it's called. They actually read the Erskine letters, the messages. I've kind of avoided ever talking about those. I think most people have seen those. His messages, he was apparently one of the people who found the girls, and he described it. Yep, cool. Yeah, we don't have a way to... there's no way for us to prove that. Yeah. I'm just basing it on a person that was accurate, and he got the information from somebody who would definitely be able to know the answers. Okay, I can tell you that. So, and I mean, there's other stuff that I know. I was contacted regarding that gave it a little bit more credibility. Has there been any more info? I've never heard anything about the signatures. Nobody knows what the signatures are. But, you know, if you do... One of the things in the Erskine messages that I'll say that he said was that... I'll just throw that out there because it's not really that descriptive. It was just that Abby was leaned up against a tree on her back, her head, you know, like if you were using the tree as a pillow almost, and you know, but just leaning against it, and then her hood was on her head, like her hood was on, you know, and then her arms were folded in front of her. So I think that right there could be a signature, right? That you literally pose the person in such a way, if that's a reality. He did write that. Okay. So is that a signature? I think that qualifies as one. It wasn't necessary to complete the crime, and then there was a posing of the person. And you know, I don't know if that's a religious way or anything like that. Huh? I've asked that a few times, and there are multiple answers in chat. What's the question this time? Just law enforcement doesn't seem to believe it's him. Becky said that law enforcement told her they're not that interested in Chadwell. Is that enough for you, or? No, they haven't said anything about the suspect fleeing the cemetery. I think it's less than 3%. I think it's like like 1 in 100,000 or something. So you're saying there's a chance? I know, I just answered it. Yeah, I make a lot of people fall asleep, French vanilla. I'm not sure that's good. Yeah, that's what I think too. I think it's going to be just like Anon said. I think it's going to be somebody that, like, it's just, whoa, who the hell's this person? I think it's somebody that doesn't live in Delphi, is familiar with the area either because they got there early in the day and scouted it out, or maybe a couple days prior and were kind of in the area scouting it out again, or they lived there at one point and they knew about it but then moved far away and went there on that day. But it seems like let me just do it like, it's interesting to think, if you just think about it like this, why did he choose that place? Did he know that there were people that maybe there was women that would go there jogging or hiking? Was the bridge actually part of his trap? See, here's the thing. It's like he might have known the area really well. Because, let me just throw it out this way. I think if the girls had gone down 505, he would have killed them down there. I think he would have. I don't think going across. I used to think that the bridge, but I was thinking to myself, how many people actually cross that bridge? You could be sitting there for weeks waiting for, I don't know. People didn't always cross the bridge. So, what was his ultimate plan? He knew nobody was in front of the girls. Was he going to abduct them even on that side and maybe force them in a different direction somewhere? I don't know. So it's kind of an interesting way to think about it. I think he was more nimble than maybe we're originally giving him credit, that he wasn't necessarily using the bridge as a trap. It just turned out that way. Like, as soon as he saw them going, he goes, oh God, I got him now. And he walked across that bridge and got him across there, and he knew at this point he had him really isolated. I don't know. It's definitely possible that he was waiting for just that person, because Cheyenne went across the bridge. She went across a little bit later too, so maybe, one of the interesting things is, if Abby Libby never showed up, would Cheyenne have been them? Because she was by herself at one point. Yeah. I've said that he was out there hunting many times. I think that phrase came from me. Cheyenne went almost all the way across the bridge. Like, literally, she took a photograph of platform 5 from about right here. So she at least got over to this point, right there. Yeah, well, it's interesting. Cheyenne was over there, but her other two friends were near the bridge around that time, and the killer was already across the creek with the two girls at that point. Okay? She's just a girl that was out there, a lady, a young woman. She was taking photographs out there. I actually have some of the photographs, and we were able to actually figure out the time of the photographs by using to prove the time of the photographs by using a program that I have. Let me see if I can find some of those. I've got them in this folder here. Yeah, here's one of them. That's one of the photos she took, but this photo here is from the start of the bridge. At least it looks like it. Yeah, that's the start of the bridge. I don't know if she took this one or not. I don't think so. That was later on. But see, this is where. See, there's the forked tree. Oh wait, you can't see it. Hold on. You can't. I got it. Yeah, I caught it almost in time. So here we go. Here's the first one there. This is at the north end of the bridge. Right there. And then this isn't one of hers, I don't think. But see the forked tree back there, platform, and then this gives you an idea where, that's interesting because it makes this one makes it look like Libby was standing a little bit down here where there's a deeper drop off and there's none there. But I can't remember when this one was taken. I'm just looking for the other ones. Okay, this was another one that she took. Right here. And now this is going back. It could have been on the way across though. But if you look at see the shadows off of this stand right there? We put that into a program and I think that showed it was right around like 3 something. I can't remember exactly what time it was, but it was like, let me see if I have that. Yeah. Let me see what happens if I try to open that up. Yeah, we'll figure that out later. I don't know where I'm going to find that. Yeah, it was something like that. Like 3-0 something. You remember that? It's weird. My 3D Studio Max isn't right here where it used to be. Oh, there it is right there. Yep, I hear ya. All right, 502, you're on. Yep, it's me.
Got his phone wet and sold it to, or said to get his contacts 2 days later. This is Sean Harmon. You're a fake.
Ah, they got you on. Hey, I knew who you are. Hey, listen, everybody. Hey, that was Sean Harmon, the whack job, everybody. He had to call in. Nobody got to hear what you said, though, Sean Harmon, after that part. But he's just an absolute idiot, right? He's like, oh, hey, the phone in the phone. Oh, this is Sean Harmon. You're a fake, man. Wait, listen, I'm fake, everybody, because I don't believe Sean Harmon, the rodeo clown, okay? Yeah, I don't believe him. And here's the thing. Even if Sean Harmon's correct, I don't want to talk to him. He's a nut job, all right? All right. So, Sean Harmon, go sell your story to someone else, okay? I'm not interested. And, I hope you're right and everything like that. But even if you're right, I don't want to talk to you. Do you understand that, Sean Harmon? Okay, good. Good for you. See, that's what I'm talking about, everybody. Now it's going to be, God, look how rude Gray was. Did you hear how rude Gray was? Yeah, nope. Nope. Let's see. Yeah, Sean Harmon's a guy that claims his dad and his son are a team of killers. Okay, and then his dad died of natural causes recently. And boy, what an absolute travesty that is. Wow. I mean, I don't know if his dad's a crappy person or not. You know, that's his last thought is, wow, my son has accused me of this. Probably ruined his life. All right. No, but they don't say that, Ginger Smith. They don't say that. You take a caller, and, you know, the wackos on social media, Facebook, it's always me, you know. What's going on with this thing? Oh, there it is. I'm going to see if I can find this. No. Yeah, he's somebody that you don't want to have on. If you're a grifter, you might have him on your channel because you're trying to just sell whatever sells. I don't allow people like that. He messaged me on Facebook, has sent me 20,000 emails with 50,000 screenshots over and over and over and over again, and I'm just not interested, okay? But here's the thing, everybody. I hope he's right. You know, he should go out and make sure that the police really know all the information he's got. I hope he's right, but I don't want to have anything to do with him. He doesn't seem to get that. It's weird. Really, really weird stuff. Like he's angry that I'm not accepting what he's saying. Okay, let's see. Hello. Who's this? Hey, pretty good. Who's this one?
On air?
Well, not yet, but you got to make sure you're normal. Yeah, what do you got?
All right, you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I listen to the show every week, and I wanted to see, there was a couple things from previous shows I was wanting to get an update on. Do you remember a couple weeks ago, might have been 3 weeks ago, there was a older woman that called in, and she was talking about how she found a sex offender in one of the counties nearby, and she thought it matched, and then she kind of checked family history and stuff, kind of researched it online, and he had a sister that lived down the road from the CPS building. I was just wanting to see, did you ever research that and see, did you find the guy she was talking about?
I don't know if she sent it to me or not. I don't remember. I don't know how long that was, like, what, a couple of weeks ago? I don't know if she said,
it's probably like 3-4 weeks ago.
I don't know if she said it was a what was it? I thought he said, oh wait, no, that was a different person. They were saying that they thought maybe they worked at the CPS building, but no, let's see. No, I never got any information on that.
Okay, cool. And then
I mean, if you guys want to go down the rabbit holes and all that kind of stuff, then you guys can do it. I just don't have time to, like, somebody calls in, hey, maybe look at this one. Well, why don't you look at it, and if it's somebody that you feel like is interesting, then turn it into law enforcement. I'm not going to, I don't have the same rabbit holes that other people do, right?
Right, yeah, I know the rabbit hole goes nowhere. That's why I don't research it. I was hoping you would instead of me.
Yeah, right. You wanted me to do it. Okay.
Exactly. Right. But the other thing is, on Sunday's show, there was a caller that called in talking about, I think it was the 1-year anniversary press conference that they had actually on the trail. He was talking about the open mic and the hot mic at the beginning of the show. Did you ever isolate the voices to try to figure out what they were saying at the beginning?
No, I did go back and watch. That lady the other day said that Holman and the mayor were talking, I mean, there was a couple times where Holman sort of looks at a larger group, and then the mayor says something, and then he kind of they laugh or something. It didn't mean anything to me. And the thing that you're talking about, no, I never, to me, I saw what he was talking about, though. It was at the press conference outside. I went to that, and to me, it just looked like they were just wanting to see if somebody was showing up, because they only had 5 people there, and then they started it anyways. I didn't isolate it. See, I can just sort of tell by the context that it was just them trying to figure out if so-and-so was going to be there, meaning one of them, and they were just kind of looking. They just were like, okay, let's get started. Right.
Oh, and the other thing is, after the bodies were discovered, I guess on the 14th, one of the big questions is how he got out of the crime scene and where he went to. We believe he went to the CPS building, to his vehicle. But did they ever take dogs out there? And is there anything that they could even have the dogs follow that you know of? Like, if they don't really have his scent, would they be able? Are the dogs trained to where they could kind of?
Well, I think the dog weren't they? I thought they mentioned recently, like on HLN, that the dogs were on their way, and then when they found the girls, the sheriff turned him back. Remember that? Like he called him off, and he felt bad that he did that, because maybe, but that wouldn't have helped find them. Maybe there was a suspect trail, but what would the suspect, where would they get a scent for the dog to track a killer? Right.
Right. That's what I was thinking. If there was a way for the dogs to track, if there was a certain scent or something they could follow, it's all hindsight, but that would have been great, because in that terrain, going up those embankments and stuff, you're going to be grabbing trees. You're going to be leaning against the trees, trying to pull yourself up that hill. But, at the time, they probably looked at that crime scene and thought they were going to have no problem finding DNA. And that never came to fruition. But, I don't know if there would be anything for the dogs to follow anyway. So I wondered about that. So, yep, they were called off, huh?
Yeah, I think he said that on HLN recently. Okay,
and my last ridiculous question for the night is, do you think it's possible that the suspect had control of the girls before he even arrived that day?
No.
That's a reference
that's
a reference to the chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
All right, cool.
Maybe with some like ESP mind meld from Star Trek.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, great show, and I'll keep listening.
All right, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
All right, bye.
Yeah, this is weird how this isn't. There we go. Let's use that then. All right, so see how this right here is. It's just a representation of the exact north-south orientation, and we've got this long pylon here, and this is what I try to do, is stuff like this. Like, okay, so it doesn't matter if it's on top of or not, it's the shadow coming from the sun. So see, this thing right here would be absolutely perpendicular to the bridge, because it's a stand for the bridge. So look at the shadow, the angle of the shadow coming off of that, okay? And then we'll go back to 3D Studio Max here. And this is a full map that I put in. This is messed up right here, but so are the, forget the the platforms, they got messed up. But this right here, I put right on top of that. And if you look at it from the top, it's absolutely perpendicular to the railroad ties. So that's what we're looking at here. Wait a second. And if I go maybe like right here, and I'm going to render it right now. And it's right over here. So this will give you the shadow angle that I have right now. And see the angle of the shadow? Can you guys make that out? That looks pretty close to what it is right now. Okay? And if I take the picture back, and put it in there. See how it kind of comes off? The shadow actually starts at the beginning of the stand and it starts extending wider out from the base of it. Okay, so if you look at that, that's exactly what this is doing. And by looking at that and using the time system in 3D Studio Max, you go over here and I'll go to setup, and that's actually, we were wrong. This is on the way out. This is at 340 is when this image was taken, the one that we were just looking at. This is at 340 on February 13th. You can actually read it over here if you have HD, but it's February 13th, 2017 at 1540. So that means it's probably on her way out. And it could be, you know, let's make it, let's see what happens if we make it 330. See what happens. I'm going to render that and see if it still is at an angle off the base. Yep, so it's still a little bit. It's coming off right there like that. I'm saying it's a little bit wider though. So it's kind of coming out like this. Anyways, I don't know if you know what I'm doing here. Do you guys understand what I'm doing? I don't know who Charles Godwin is. Well, good for you, Lanky Tor. I'm glad you're listening. Well, it's unfortunate, Beth, because I've explained it 1,000 times. Let's see. Even to you. Yeah. So anyways, here's the picture of... I'll try to do it again. Here's the bridge, and here's the cement stand that's perpendicular to the bridge underneath it. There's the shadow off of it. So the sun is up there off to the side there, but you can actually see and get an angle based on how the shadow actually comes off and it gets wider. See, it's not as wide there, wider, 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 and then it gets wider coming off like that. You can actually see the angle of it. So if you go to Google Earth, and I put the stand on top of the bridge just because, you know, it doesn't matter. The bridge is on the ground here. And when you render that, let me go back to the daylight savings time here and make it at, I'll put that at like 340 again. And then render it. See that? See the shadow right there? It got wider and wider and wider. And it's coming off. That one looks reasonable. So right at this point, it'd be 340, and then if she just kept walking back to the car, she would have been back at the car at 345, 350 at the latest. And she uploaded one of the images, the furthest one, to Snapchat, or uploaded it online at like 345, or was it? I don't know if it was 347 maybe. And that makes sense. Like right after that picture, if she had just walked off the bridge and got back to the car and said, oh, okay, let me upload some of these. Right? Because it's not much further. It would take maybe a minute to get to there, and then 6 minutes to get to the car, and then she uploads them to Snapchat. Yeah, Beth, I've explained these shadow things to you many times. We've gone over it. Yeah, so this is one of Cheyenne's photos right there. Okay, now we're going to do another image. Let me see if I can find that one. I know that it's in here somewhere. Well, who cares what color the block is? It doesn't matter. Oh, jeez. I'm just trying to find there's one picture she took on the far side of the bridge, and I'm just looking for it right now. That's this one right here. No, it's this one. So it's this one and that one. All right, so this is one that she took on the far side. There's the forked tree, and there's this little. She's actually at this point on platform 5, like this, taking a photograph that way. So she's pretty far down, almost on the other end of the bridge. So there it is on platform 5, and then there's this weird railroad tie that you can see in the bridge right there. See that? Now look at the angle of the shadow off of the railroad tie. That one, if you compare it to the edge here, looks like it's almost straight off of the railroad tie. Do you guys see that? I just want to make sure you can see that. Put a 1 if you can see that that shadow is almost virtually straight across off of the railroad tie. That's easier to do. Okay. And okay. Well, this one here, you can actually see a shadow off of that, but it's hard to tell based on the angle of the wood and everything. I think that's pretty much straight across. Okay, so knowing that, if you go back to my program and just pretend that this is just a railroad tie, and we want to make the shadow go straight off like this, let's just say even barely a little bit that direction, we could go here, and then I'll make this 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and then I'll render it, and let's see what the shadow does off of this. And look at that. It goes straight off. See that? It's even slightly more. See that? So right around 3 o'clock is when she would have taken the photograph. You know, let's just say 3 to 3:10 is when the photograph that Cheyenne took on the other side of the bridge, taking this photograph because of the angle of the shadow off of the actual spike in the railroad tie. You see what I'm saying? All right. Thanks, Anon. Good night. Amistad. Does that make sense to everybody? Huh? Platform 5 yeah, she was at platform 5 at around 3 p.m. She even says that later on. And so that means that she was on the bridge at like 2:45 probably, you know, taking other photographs as she walked across. You know, she could have walked across in 4 minutes if she was sprinting, but she was there to take photographs. And so she hustled, you know, when she got across, she took this photograph at around 3 o'clock. So, which is weird because just 40 minutes prior was when the girls were probably taken off the end of the bridge. And the killers with them probably at this time when this photograph was taken. Hey, thank you, Desert Buckeye. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of interesting looking at her photographs. The spike one was taken at about 3. The one near the north side was taken at about 3:40. So who knows? Was she hanging out with her buddies for a while, or what was she doing? I don't have any, like, people are like, wait, well, who is she? Is she the, you know? No, she's not the bridge guy, everybody. But it pops into people's heads, and they let it linger. See, try doing this sometimes. You can have something pop into your head, but don't let it linger when you realize it doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's just shadows are the same, Beth. It doesn't matter if you have this big thing or not. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it's a shadow. Shadow has the same angle. It doesn't matter if it's what I used to do it. I could put a little cylinder on the bridge and it would do the same thing. Right? Like I could come down here and, let's see. I could put a little tiny cylinder right here. Okay? Like I could literally, stupid. My camera's right where the selection tool is. And then I could move this onto the railroad tie, and then I could do the same thing, and then it's going to make a shadow going straight off of the, see, right there. So that's at 3 o'clock. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you're using for it. I guess it does matter though, because people get confused if you're. Yeah, well, it's just as easy to. Well, the other one's in the. You can see the shadow though. It doesn't really matter, right? I mean. Yeah. So let me see where the other. There was 3 photos that she took. I'm just gonna look for that other one. Yeah, but it doesn't matter if the shadow's more prevalent. You could still see it, right? I mean, it's a shadow because it was on a more contrasting background. It doesn't matter. Let's see. Unless you had a crappy phone or something, you couldn't see it. So yeah, one with that one, and this one. Okay, those are 2 of them. Oh, and the other one was taken at the beginning of the bridge. So that would be an interesting one. Let me see if I can find that one. I think it's this one. It was what I made a banner out of. But this one, if I could see the shadows on there, then we could try to figure it out. Well, I'm glad you were able to see it better that way. So on here, I can't find anything. Let me zoom in on the bolts on there. See, that bolt looks like there's a shadow going like that, straight across again. So that would have been close to. That might have been like a 250 or something. Because it's a little bit more this direction. But it's hard to really see that well. That might have been when she started across. Like she might not have been lingering around. Like she took this photo, walked across, took another one, started, walked back, talked to some friends. I don't know where she talked to the friends at. I wish she would come forward and describe the day better. She's commented on Facebook, but people ask really dumb questions, so they wasted all their time just with silliness, where she could have, when she was willing to talk, she could have said a lot more. Like, okay, so when you got there, what did you do first? Did you take a picture? Where did you take your photos? What time were those? Where did you talk to your friends at? Just a whole bunch of stuff like that would have been relevant to establishing a better timeline. What did somebody say up here? Oh, yeah. Hey, Marco, you must be one of the idiots that watches one of the other YouTubers that disparages Kelsey all the time. Anybody that disparages Kelsey or the family members, you are an absolute joke of a person. If you're in a group of people and you're over there and you're cutting them down and you're thinking this and this, and you have any hints in your mind, if you have any hints in your mind that you think that Kelsey and all of them have anything to do with it, just unsubscribe from my channel immediately. Okay, you're an embarrassment to mankind and should be nowhere near true crime. You're a joke. Okay, so get the hell out of here. It's ASAP. Flip me off on the way out. You can join the Sean Harmons of the world. Okay, so I think I've kind of pretty much gone over all the basic information tonight. So if you've been here since the beginning, don't you feel like you have a better understanding of sort of, the flow of the crime, different pieces of information that are out there? They definitely were found right where I showed you, right over in this area. And this tree right here was very helpful because the reporter that was filming at the crime scene was right here, and there's the tree. And then when I saw that, I was like, oh, look at the shallow area. They must have crossed right there. And then given the fact that the forked tree was over here, the killer was on his way to this end of the bridge, going down, boom, 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 boom. And yes, at this point, it's really obvious to everybody because it looks obvious, but it wasn't at the time. Hey, thank you, Vale. What's this channel? It's Gray Hughes Investigates, right here. This is me, Yogi. Hey, Yogi. Hey, Poo Poo.
Gosh, Gray, you're so mean to your subs.
Hey, listen, I don't want subs like that wacko that was just here a minute ago, okay? So, sometimes regular subs and friends of mine, they might get mad at something I say, but they're back the next day. It's the crybaby idiots who you say one thing to them, and they whine and whine and whine and go over to the other places and start complaining. Just don't worry about it, okay? I say dumb stuff sometimes myself, and I even call myself out. If you don't believe me, ask these people. The regular freaks. They've seen it. Especially when I'm talking for 30 minutes about an image and you're not even looking at it. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And then sometimes I just get something completely wrong and I'm like, oh crap. The difference is I won't keep trying to defend something I know is false because I've said it. I'll immediately go, nope, that's wrong now, and utilize the new information to have a better theory. Isn't that crazy? It's weird. I know it's a weird trait to have. Yeah. Yeah, Timothy knows. He called in. That's right. Anon. You're a freak with knowledge. Thank you, Cece. And here's what you'll get, everybody. Here's what you'll get. Look at Gray making money on the Delphi case. Yep. But check it out. How about right now, early in the month? Hey, is the ballpark still needing funds? By the way. No, maybe we'll just make that what we're going to do at the end of the month. Because I have to go get my card and everything. I mean, we've donated a lot of money to the Living Abbey ballpark. A hell of a lot more than almost any other YouTuber. So I can just tell you that right now. And to be honest with you, I make money for my channel and charities every single night of the week, and I don't cover the Delphi case other than normally Sundays, but tonight I did it because I was mentioned on that show, and they were wondering. I just had some thoughts that I wanted to, that I put out that were a little different. And so I did one today, but normally it's just Sundays. I do shows every single night of the week on dozens of cases that nobody else is talking about every night of the week. Oh, the name on, okay. Yeah. That makes sense, Heather. I was like, yeah, he knows who I am. Yeah. Yeah, we've donated like $2,000, and then $1,000 was matched at part of it, so that's 3. And then I think another 1,000 in honor of Abby and Libby to like Nick-Mech, right? But it doesn't really matter what you do. There's always somebody out there complaining, bitching and moaning over and over. Yep. I think it's going to get solved. I don't know when, but I hope it gets solved soon. Now, hold on a second. All right, here we go. We'll do an early donation. All right, and tonight on this show, we brought in 247, but I'm going to donate 500 to the ballpark. So you ask, how does that happen? That's because on other shows, on other nights, we bring in more money. Okay, if you wanted me to only donate money from the Delphi shows, it wouldn't be anywhere near the amount. Okay, just letting you know. Oh, cool, I can use PayPal, so hold on, I gotta hit the button. I don't know where it goes. Sometimes it has me sign in. Okay, yep, that's what it's doing. Just a second. Hey, thank you. All right, here we go. And, well, I had my debit card last 4 digits, but that's all right. And there you go. See, right there. Thanks for donating $500 to the Libby and Abby Ballpark Foundation. All right. Okay, do you see that? Hey, thank you, Cammie Curry, Anti-Texas Gal, and B. Holder, and Anon. Okay, now we'll just go to my email really quick. Probably got about 6 emails from good old Sean Harmon again. Let me just make sure that he's not in there. It hasn't come in to PayPal yet. Just a second. We got some volunteers needed for COVID. Oh, there it is. Okay, there we go. So there it is right there. The receipt came in, and you donated $500. Is there anybody out there that thinks that was fake? I went to the website, made a fake website, and then I sent an email to myself and pretend. Yeah, okay. Yeah, believe it or not, there are idiots like that. All right, 407. Oh, God. Yeah, what's going on? Who's this? Chauncey, what's going on? Pretty good. What do you got?
Yes, sir. I had 2 questions.
Yeah. I can barely hear you, though. You got to speak up a little bit.
Okay, I'm sorry, sir. The first question is, was it flannel shirt guy's brother that was on the bicycle
Because I think a lot of people get confused on that.
Well, I don't know why people are even saying he's the guy on the bicycle at all. All they ever said was there was somebody on a bicycle. That's it. I don't know why anybody's saying it's the flannel shirt guy's brother, the McCain brothers, right?
I think a lot of them get confused. Like, one guy was in the graveyard, you know, and a wonky-talk, whatever, and then there's another guy on the bike, and then there's flannel shirt guy, and we all just get confused.
Yeah. Well, I don't think anybody knows who that is on the bike. Just like nobody knows that there was really an individual that was walking a dog that saw the killer. You just hear somebody tell you that, but
I definitely don't.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that at all. I think somebody made that up. But
yeah, we don't know if that's even a reality whatsoever.
And my second part of my question was going to be, you know, it's been 4.5 years, and you look at all the evidence and all the suspects and everything, and I know there's not a definite suspect, but, like, what would they ever even arrest Bridge Guy with? You know, if you don't have forensic, you don't have an eyewitness. If you see somebody's car parked on the side of the road, that's not really enough to ever get a conviction, you know what I mean? Like, yes, you might catch them in a lie.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure.
It's going to be tough, right? Because I guess well, here's the thing: if whatever DNA they have, it might not have, you know, let's just say it's not good enough for CODIS or something, but let's say there is markers and it matched him, and maybe that's only 1 in 100,000. Well, that's still pretty good odds, and they must have developed other information that would have led to them arresting him. So you start piling on circumstantial evidence, and then you have this guy on the bridge, and then you know, does it look just like him? Well, it's going to be hard to say because you can barely make out the guy's face, right? And so, I mean, at all, it's like blurry. And then you hear the voice. Does he sound like that? Well, maybe he sounds like that. So maybe a voice expert would be able to say that, you know, you might get that. But I definitely see what you're saying, because if they have that little forensic information at the crime scene and haven't made an arrest yet, then, you know, how is that going to, other than him confessing to it, how would it help make the arrest? You know what I'm saying? I think that's what you're saying, right?
It's Yes, sir. It's terrifying, to be honest.
Yeah.
Hope, you know, like, you know, Mr. Carter said that we have a witness, you know, but I don't know if I buy that or not. And also, I remember Sergeant Riley saying we've been able to verify everybody at the bridge that day except the guy on the bridge, you know, with Abby and Libby.
Mm-hmm.
So him saying that always stood out to me, too. I'm like, it's got to be somebody that we know was there.
Wait, what did you say?
Opinion.
Can you say that again? I kind of lost what you were saying. What was that?
Sergeant Riley said in an interview once that we've been able to verify everybody that was there at the bridge that day except Bridge Guy, or, you know, I hate that name, but
yeah,
whoever he is.
The killer.
And
the
so,
whack job killer.
and that was early on.
Yeah.
You know, and then the information about the vehicle comes out, and I'm like, man, you're sort of contradicting yourself a little bit. So, you know, I don't know. I was just going to see what you thought about those two questions, and I appreciate it, sir.
Yeah, I appreciate your thoughts. They were reasonable. All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yep, so let me do the, we got to go update the fund here. Hold on. All right, so this is going to be 22.5 this year. Okay, and then I've got to do the scrolling information. Oops. I've got to update the scrolling text there. So we've got Libby and Abby this year so far has been 1,000, so that'll be 1,500. Oops, let me open that up. Where is that? Oh, there it is. Where is it? 1,500. Okay, there we go. So that should all be updated now. We so far this year, I can't remember what CP was. That was Charlie Project. RAIN, Violence Against Women, 2,000. NCMEC, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, 2,700. Libby and Abby Fund, 1,500. And then the DNA Fund for 2 cases that we're trying to identify John Does for crime victims. Or one of them's just an accident, but 13,500 in that, because that's pretty expensive. So there you go, everybody, the freaks. And actually, even if you're not a freak family member and you donate to this channel to help support my channel and the charities, a large portion goes to the charities at the end of the month. Okay, but if I wasn't making income on the channel, I wouldn't be able to do this every single day. I wouldn't be able to justify it. I'd be doing something else. I'd still be making videos, but I spend probably 3 hours a day doing shows and doing research. Like even today, I researched 1961 Utah case of a missing person, but there was also a murder in there, and that looked really interesting. But then I said, hey, I'm going to do a live show on Delphi just because I was mentioned. I thought maybe people would be interested in calling in and talking about their theories. Yeah. So good job, freaks. The generous freak. So everybody type in the generous freak hearts like you guys have been doing, because that was part of the month. So at the end of the month, we'll be donating a larger amount, unless we find something else during the month. We'll still be donating at the end of the month, but this is part of that. So we just did 500 early. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, well, it's all you guys. I mean, honest to God, what I'm saying right now is totally true. I wouldn't be able to do this whatsoever without all of you. Okay? That's the honest to God truth.
Well then, Gray, why are you so mean to your subs?
Hey, listen. I think if you guys pay attention to the people that I'm, quote, mean to, you'll probably be on the same page. It's just this weird, like there's channels out there that believe that you should be able to say whatever you want to say, like these idiots coming in trolling, and just have it be okay. But I'm not going to allow that. Okay, so what I've said was, I'm sorry for all of you people out there who I've offended, who feel really bad. Okay, but I'm not going to change who I am or how I act whatsoever. And so my suggestion would be to just not watch or show up, because I don't want you to be offended and have your feelings hurt, okay? A lot of people just don't care. They'll end the show and go, God, Gray was an ass today. Hey, what are we doing tomorrow? Oh, yeah, hey, man, this is, that's how it should be. But it's not. Some people are like, God. I hope most of you agree with what I just said. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, definitely snowflakes. And they always call it bullying. Like somebody comes in there and they make a stupid comment and they go, God, that was the most ludicrous thing I've ever heard. Are you kidding me? It was over here, blah, blah, blah. And I go on and then, gosh, Gray, you're bullying. No, what it's called is disagreeing with something stupid. Bullying would be if I kept following you around to all the different places and commenting after every one of your comments, right? Now people say, well, hey, you go over to Harvey's channel. Yeah, well, Harvey makes videos about me. So of course I go over there and I make a comment back. People just are so nonsensical right now in this political environment we've got. Everybody feels bullied. everybody, has something to say, like, oh, doesn't my opinion matter? Yes, your opinion matters. Guess what, everybody? Check this one out. This is what I believe. I hope you guys all agree with what I'm about to say. I believe, let's all raise our hand and say, I believe that everybody has a right to an opinion. I believe everybody has a right to an opinion. Yes. However, I am not required. So my first part would be, I respect the right for everybody to have an opinion, but I am not required to respect the opinion itself. Okay? But you hear this often. You have to respect their opinion. Okay? I don't agree with that. I don't. I'm not required to respect an opinion. That's ludicrous. Like the one we heard earlier. Hey, Gwendolyn B., thank you. Maybe. I don't know, Gwendolyn. I'm not sure. Yeah, an ass, right? Beth, is that what you're saying? Yeah. But it's true. So nobody out there has to respect anybody's opinion at all.
Will Timmy be a regular
But they have a right
part
to
of the
have
show
one.
like Mary Lou and John Boy? Ha ha ha.
Yeah. 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 Yes, Gwendolyn B. I'm part of the show now.
Well, that's not cool. I don't like it when you're part of the show.
Why can't I be part of the show? You're part of the show.
Well, I've got a personality. You don't.
Yeah, see? There you go. Yes, Gwendolyn. Yeah, exactly. See, don't you hate when people... put a 1 if you hate when people say you have to respect their opinion. Whenever I see that, I go, are you kidding me? All right, one of the things I hate the most is this one. Let's agree to disagree. Yeah, okay. I can see doing that on, like, who's your favorite band? But if somebody said 1 + 1 = 97, I'm never going to agree to disagree with you. Okay? Because you are 100% incorrect. And I'm not going to ever relent and give you the satisfaction. So I hope all of you never accept that again on something you know to be true. Yeah, but there would be a lot of inaccuracies in there, Karen, so it'd be hard to... Well, some people don't know that there's a difference there. Ange Tex Gal. Oh, and thank you up there to Susie Heath, Gwendolyn B. I don't know if I can get up there far enough, but... well, I'll get you at the end of the show. I saw a bunch of people sending in super chats earlier. Appreciate it. Yeah, nah. Can't do it. When you know something to be true, right? Like literally you know it. Because you actually know it to be true. Like if somebody said, Gray, you work for the feds. And I go, no, I don't. Well, let's agree to disagree. Well, no, I absolutely know that I don't work for the feds. That was during the Kanika case. Remember all that bullshit? I am in a unique position to know that you're an idiot. Because, see, people would say, hey, Gray, you're the 911 operator that they called from the hotel. And I'd say, you're an idiot. And they go, no. And I go, well, listen, sir, I am in a unique position to know for a fact you are a complete moron. Because I know for certain that I am not the 911 operator. And the reason I know that is because I'm me. Right? Well, let's agree to disagree. Well, that's not going to happen. Oh yeah, the security guard. Don't forget the security guard. 911 operator. I was a guy at the front desk. I was. I mean, it just the list goes on and on. I was the security guard. One of the security guards, anyway. Good times, good times. It allowed me to do a lot of debunking videos. If you guys want to see some good material, go back to my Kanika Jenkins debunking videos. I mean, they just shred the opposition into oblivion because it's just 100% factual. Instead of, look at that, look at the shadow. That's an alien. Hey, thanks, Jen Richards. Oh, you did, Andrea? All right. Hey, thanks, Claire Morgan. Welcome
Love Gray,
to
the
the
mods,
freaks.
the freaks, and Kelsey. Heart.
Claire Morgan's a freak now. Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of a nightmare. Yeah, it is true. It was very stressful, very... Now, they actually, people were calling my work and, calling my home. It's just, the whole thing, it just got crazy. And the reason was because I was the only person that would dare to have the accurate opposite position that everybody else had. And I literally was one against hundreds of people making videos. Okay? Well, I mean that's not even being sarcastic. But I was the only one putting out the accurate information that literally was the truth of what happened. The rest of them, it was crazy. Remember the guy wearing the blue in the kitchen who literally stood there for 8 months? Never moved. Oh, wait, that's not a person? Those are actually containers. Well, it wasn't 8 months, but, like 10 hours. Oh, yeah, it was awful. I know, it was really crazy, wasn't it, Beth? I mean, that was one of the weirdest times ever. I mean, I must have blocked over 1,000 people, too, because they'd come on and call me the most racist things you could ever imagine. I mean, just over and over and over. And it's still right now, here's something you guys can do. You can go to the, what's my best video on that one? It was
Chewbacca?
It's not even that good of a video, but it's a viral video.
I remember the excessive pizza deliveries you got a while back. Plus,
yeah.
Chewbacca never gets sold.
Oh, yeah, what was the pizzas from? What case was that from? I don't think that was Kanika. It was something else. Oh yeah, that unset. God, that was crazy, man. Oh, unreal. I have one Kanika Jenkins video that has like 2 million views. Let me see. Something like I figured it out. It all makes sense now. Yeah. Let's see. It all makes sense now. Kanika. There it is. Yeah. So this video right here, I would actually have just... It has 2.142 million views. Is that crazy or what? I mean, you can't see it. Hold on. There we go. Look at that. I caught myself just in time. See that? Look at that. 2.142 million. Right? And it's just a 27-minute video. But still, you go through some of this stuff. Let's see. Well, a lot of it got like censored out though. But look how many comments there are. There are 5,519 comments. Look at the 10,000 and then 2,700 dislikes on something that was absolutely accurate. Don't you think the security guards would have seen her on the cameras that night? Think, people. No, because it was 3:30 in the morning and she was down in the basement level. I can answer every question in here with absolute... I've seen this drunk before, no memory. Yeah, so this person's accurate. But watch, these people will probably be angry with her. It's not about you, so nobody cares. See, watch. Once you read somebody with a rational comment, watch this. I've been this drunk before, no memory. I could have very easily been this girl had people not been looking out for me. And then they're like, how dare you? It's not about you, so nobody cares. You should be more careful, Anne. You beautiful... I don't know who they're talking to. Yeah, but everybody, if you had any opposing opinion, you'd get literally, and when I say opposing an opinion, it's not like in these cases where it's just some minor thing. If you didn't go for that Kenneka Jenkins was murdered, you were just attacked viciously and with racial comments. Remember that one clown who, what was his name, Truth Sleuth, that tried to, he tried to call me all these different names and everything like that. And it turns out he charged, he had this live and he charged everybody $50 and he got 200 suckers. I mean, it was just crazy to give him the money, and he didn't have anything. He got $10,000 and then he bailed from YouTube. Unbelievable. All right, 801.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Who's this?
This is Gwendolyn B. again.
Oh, Gwendolyn B.
How are you doing tonight?
Pretty good. How's it going?
It's been crazy. I mandatory overtime, part-time job on top of it. So it's like the first time in a while I've been able to catch a live, honestly.
Yeah, awesome. So what's up?
Well, I was going to say it took me almost 2 weeks to catch up with everything you've done. Oh, my God. But I like the fact that you went over the case again tonight, because there's a lot of people that don't really know this case, and I know it's like one that you've done a lot of work on, and some people know it really well, but there's still going to be a lot of people. So, I mean, at least trying to explain it again for people, even though some people won't get it, still. But, yeah, I think it doesn't even have to be this case where you get a bunch of whack jobs, honestly. So thank you for covering it again. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
So, plus, I got to be honest, the majority of your shows have made me laugh because a lot of it has humor. So
yeah,
thank you for the horse one. Really made me laugh so hard.
The last one.
The horse one.
Oh, the horse one. Yeah.
With the it was with Summer.
Summer Wells.
I can't even remember what her last name was. Yeah, just it running down the road, and I'm like, you're like a alien spaceship. That's the exact same effect it would have, and I was like laughing.
Well, what was funny about it was they didn't care. The people doing the press conference, they didn't care that this horse was running down the road dragging just wood, or some kind of a plank behind him. And they were like, yeah. And it was just going, and they just kept doing their press conference. It was crazy.
Well, so that's what I'm saying. You took elements of cases. Unfortunately, this case is just, the one that you're talking about tonight. That one is a lot harder to find humor in, but, like maybe there's a puppy under his jacket. I don't know, that kind of nonsense or whatever, but, always keep the sense of humor. Because honestly, this is some terrible stuff we're talking about.
Yeah, I remember joking around about the actual case, It's always about some side thing, like the horse had nothing to do with anything. Right?
No. I'm from rural Illinois, and I hate to say it, but I think that was probably more common than we might think.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know what was going on.
I will say this. I think some parts of Illinois are a lot like... because I'm from Southern Illinois, a lot of parts of like that are like Indiana. And to be quite frankly honest, I would never cross that bridge, but that's just me. And it's too bad that, they got caught at the wrong time, and, unfortunately they paid for it with their lives, because of some monster. It's kind of hard to believe that they'd be graduating high school right now, and who knows what else they could have been doing,
Yeah, that's weird.
It was too soon. It is weird. It's very weird.
I saw some video of them
so,
playing. They were playing. They've already played some ball at the ballpark. Do they not use grass when it's a softball field? I don't know how that works, but it was cool. You know, like it looked like there was like a legit softball game being played there.
Do they have an estimate of how much it would cost and when they're going to be completing it? I apologize for my ignorance on that.
Well, I think they're almost done
I
with
just wondered if you knew.
I think they still got to put the
really?
bricks in. Well, they've raised quite a bit of money, and you can see it's going to good use. It's really nice buildings and like 4 different ballparks. Let me see if it's on Google Earth. Well, it's 2018, so no, it wouldn't be. But it's right here. This is where the ballpark is being built. So I've seen recent pictures. There's 4 different parks.
Okay. I turned the sound down on the show, so I can see what you're pointing at here on the maps here. But I hope maybe they have like a special ceremony or whatever they do to start the park up, and I think it'd be a great way for people to gather together and with their families and be able to have a place to go, and it still sucks that it hasn't been solved. I don't know. I don't really have a whole lot to say about this case because it's been beaten to death so many times and people still don't understand it, even though you explain it to them.
Well, I'm just kind of doing the same thing that almost like the Kanika case where I just keep putting out the factual information and I add stuff to it when I think it's worthy of being added. And that's about it. And then I've looked at, different people that were suspects over the years, the big ones, Paul Edders and those types.
Yeah.
Daniel Nations was a guy for a while.
I remember
even Thomas,
that guy. That guy scared the shit out of me.
Even Thomas Bruce, but like people still talk about Thomas Bruce like as if, oh, he's him over and over and over and over again. And it's like, I think if he was, there'd be a lot more news about it. And perhaps the sketch would have evolved to look a little bit more like that guy. But it didn't. It's just not him. Okay, he was interesting at once.
Well,
I mean, I can't say it's not him because we don't know who the killer is. But I think the odds are 1 in 50,000. I mean, it's not even close.
I think it's a combination. This guy got away with a combination of luck and then maybe planning just to find somebody that he couldn't be tied to. Because if you have a stranger on stranger, violence, it's a lot harder to link people than, say if it was somebody that you knew, that killed you. So I think it's just a combination of the two. Circumstances, a lot of it was that's what depended on this case with him getting away with it for as long as he did. Mm-hmm. I wish they didn't have sketches, to be quite completely honest with you. I think it's misled a lot of people. I don't like sketches, to be honest with you, either, for the most part. I think the video speaks for itself. That's all we can really go on, and I really think that's what we should be focusing on. So that's just my opinion. I think it's realistic what I'm saying. Don't take that sketch too seriously. Look at the video.
Yeah, I think look at the video.
That's the best evidence they have.
The video and the audio is what people should be focusing on. Instead, they take the sketch picture, overlay it on some guy that they think is a really interesting person, and they make an overlay, and they go, "Oh, look it!" And the thing is it's bogus. Okay, because you can put an overlay over anybody. If you tweak it up enough, it'll look like somebody. Yeah, I've said on this channel probably for 2 years that the only thing that anybody should be showing is the video and the audio, and they should put it on tons of channels all over the area. I literally have said that on every single show related to this case for a long time. I think everybody probably knows that. Like if you haven't heard me say that, put a 1. If you haven't heard me say that. Because I've heard it many times. I think that literally is the thing. It's like get the video and the audio out to the news channels and let them play it over and over and over. And I'm talking about all around the country even. Like do like a 15-second thing. Just have the announcers go, do you guys recognize this person and this voice? Play it, a 15-second loop, boom, out. Next day, do it again. Just do it over and over and over again. Like the sketch is, I mean, the sad part is the first sketch is still up in places, probably, right? So it's like, which one are you looking at then? The young one or the old one? It's just wild, the whole thing. The sketches are completely meaningless, in my opinion, at this point.
Yeah.
I
agree with you.
I don't mean to affect anybody, but I think that they are, you know, especially when you got somebody saying, well, it's in between both of them. Because now it's like, was there 3 sketches then? Because now there's one that you could have made that looked like a combination of the two. And you could use the old one or, you know, somewhere in between. It's really dumb.
As far as, I will say this, about 2 weeks ago or something like that, you had that guest on who extra insight into what possibly might be more detail on the situation.
Uh-huh.
I actually really, really appreciate you that you did that, because for me that adds kind of like a new nuanced layer of maybe something to consider. Maybe it kind of gives you an idea of what the behavioral, because we don't know what the profile is, and everybody just speculates, but getting that extra like insight that maybe this might be possible.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things what this guy is like.
One of the things he
possibly.
said that he said that I forgot to say was that they thought it was sexually motivated, but he didn't actually. He did whatever he did from a distance, like he wasn't near them.
That's very interesting.
And then maybe had like
that's very interesting.
And maybe I think he even said that the person who he talked to said that they speculated that like maybe he had a condom on or something. But he was standing away. He wasn't even on them. Weird.
Well, and that's the thing, though, is we all know that forensics to solve a case are very much advanced and say, like, if this guy had committed this murder, like, say, maybe even the 1990s, as late as, like, the 1990s when DNA was first starting to become an investigative tool, maybe the 80s, you know, something like that, as late as that, they could have gotten away with it. You know, those cold cases we have, people are getting away with murder all the time, like some wild animals, you know, just going around killing people, you know, stuff like that. We're lucky to see more and more of the older cases that were, you know, featured on your show, other places that they're getting solved.
But here's what you could. Before I
forgot,
I want to say that. See, the thing is, you've got this could be like one of the first serial killers of a new breed. You know.
Interesting.
Well, the reason I'm saying this is because serial killers now know, because of all the arrests being made by genetic genealogy. So we're going to see a ton of old cases solved. But I would imagine that the new serial killers are absolutely aware of that now. Like even before, if they knew that they hadn't been arrested, they didn't care. But in 2017 or 2018, that changed everything. So if you're going to be a serial killer, post 2018, you are going to make sure that you didn't leave any DNA anywhere near that crime scene. That's crazy.
So it could be a combination of him, maybe that was his preference, like he may be sexually motivated, maybe he didn't want to, maybe that wasn't his MO to physically touch the girls. That could be partially that. Could be partially what you're saying, where he didn't want to leave that DNA. It could be a combination of the two, or it could be one or the other. Or maybe it's none of them.
Or I don't know. He could have been motivated just by like observing a dead person, you know, which is sick.
That's what I'm saying is basically, you know, we don't know if it's motivated just by that, or it could be he was concerned about DNA leaving it there. So we don't know. But I mean, it is interesting to consider that he may not have been motivated in the traditional way that like a person who would kill like by physically assaulting them. That's very interesting. I don't hear that a whole lot in cases that are done. Do you? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. No. So I don't hear that a whole lot.
Well, I mean, this could be like one of the, you know, he's just, well, here's the thing. I think what I just said actually didn't make any sense. But see, here you go, everybody. I'm admitting to myself, because this case happened in 2017 before the Golden State Killer case. So that would mean the genetic genealogy wasn't something that people knew about. So I just debunked myself.
Well,
where's my music?
Well, I was going to say that still, it's still a consideration. And also, not to mention, he did a somewhat secluded area, meaning no ring doorbells and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, it's not totally secluded, but think about it. That's another thing. We've always had ring doorbells for at least 10 years, approximately, that I can remember.
Yeah.
So, you definitely want to make sure there's not cameras hanging around. So that's at least one consideration he's always probably had when he selected his site.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
But
So,
it could be too
I
that
think
it could be that he's already got a profile in a system, and he didn't want to leave any more DNA somewhere, so may use something like that.
I think based on what I'm hearing, he's probably an older guy.
What do you mean? What do you mean based on what you're
saying?
hearing? What do you mean? What does that mean?
Well, I'm saying on the show, when we take a look at the video and we see him, my impression is that he looks like he might be a little older. I don't think he would be in his 20s anymore, maybe 30s to 40s. That's what I'm, based on just what I'm seeing in the video, just kind of the general demeanor. Because, like, for instance, I dress very conservatively for me being in I'm going to be 40 in a couple of years. I wouldn't dress like that in my 20s. So I'm just explaining, like generally he has a more conservative look. He looks like he's a little bit older. And I don't think maybe this was his first crime. I'm not trying to get into conspiracy theories. I'm just going based on what I saw in the video and what my impression is and my life experience would indicate to me he might be around my age. Okay, late 30s, maybe 40s. So something like that.
Yeah.
And I don't think this was his first crime. Now, he may not have killed anybody.
Well, somebody said up there that it was like Beth said, it was a crime of opportunity. I think, it was an opportunity, meaning when he was there, but he was definitely there to kill somebody. If you guys don't believe that, then there's something, you're wacko, okay? He was there, ready to kill. He just didn't know who his victim was going to be. And the opportunity arose that it was Abby and Libby, and he went for that.
Mm-hmm.
They could have, but as I said earlier in the show, we don't ever know if the bridge was part of the actual plan originally. It could have just been, wow, look at that, they're going across there, and he tracked them down that way. I think if Abby and Libby had gone down the 505 trail, he might have killed them down there because he still knew that nobody was behind him and nobody was in front. And he may have made that attempt down there. So there you go.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying is I understand completely that, he was definitely looking for an opportunity.
Yeah, because he had a gun.
I mean
on
that
him.
he may have... Yeah. I'm saying that usually there's an escalation in violence with people that lead to a murder if they're doing what he's doing, which is obviously going out purposely killing somebody. He may have had other assaults. He may have had girlfriends that were like, holy shit, I got to get out of here, stuff like that. I think there was an escalation, and then maybe or maybe not, this is his first kill. But I do believe for certainty almost that he probably has some sort of warning signs that nobody really took seriously or paid attention to. I don't know. I don't think this guy is completely a very social person. I'm sure he has like a regular life. Like he'll go to work. He might have a family. Who knows? Yeah. But I don't think he was somebody that would really like open up to people all the time.
Well, he probably wouldn't be somebody that would go to. He probably wouldn't be somebody that goes to a bar and has drinks with other people because he might say the wrong thing. Yeah.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like for me personally, I work a couple of jobs. I have, work acquaintances. I have outside friends from school and work in the past. I communicate on Facebook with people, but I usually go home and I'm by myself. I do my own thing. That's kind of what I'm thinking. He might be like somebody, like I said, that has social ties, but I just really think he probably keeps to himself a little bit more than maybe other people. Yeah. So I don't think he lives in his mom's basement. I just think he lives like a semi-normal life and enough that he would fly under the radar. You know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense what I'm saying. I'm not trying to sound like, it's a, fitting a specific profile, but that's just the sense that I'm getting. Like, how would he have maybe, kind of gotten by over the years? Like, I just think he had a semi-normal life and just maybe he kept people away, from seeing him too closely. That's what I think. I think he wanted to do his own thing on his own for the most part. And that's a big reason why he probably was out there looking for somebody, is nobody probably knew he was there, in his personal life. I guarantee you that nobody knew it, Why would you want to place yourself there on the day of the crime? You wouldn't want to be telling anybody that you were over there. So I just think he's very close-lipped. That's just my opinion. But
you should become an auctioneer. Let's see what you talk, and then let's play this one. Hold on, let me hear it.
I'm fired out of midnight, 10 down, 15, all of mine, better done, 15, I'm better done, 15, 20, I'm better done, 15, better done, 20.
You're almost as fast.
Did I ramble again?
No.
I thought my.
No, it was mostly just how you're very clear, but it's so fast. It's like, man. There you go. You're like, and I think I'm it was just, it's so fast. You could be an auctioneer. I think you'd have been good at it.
Well, I mean, you said call in about your theories and discuss it, and I'm not a profiler. I'm not claiming to be, but like I said, I can kind of see some similarities in my own life where I just kind of keep to myself, and I figure this guy might do the same thing, and I think maybe he had some warning signs in the past, and maybe him keeping people away from him, and then, you know, like I said, maybe he has a girlfriend out there that just was like, I need to get the fuck away. Sorry, I need to get the hell away from this guy.
Too late.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's crazy how we've had killers in the past who had like girlfriends and stuff like that, and you know, they got away with assaulting people. I mean, even today, people get off on, you know, they should have been behind bars, like that guy who killed the 3 guys in the golf. The golf course recently. He should have been behind bars. If he was behind bars, those 3 people might still be alive. So
well, they were saying in that case that the 2 guys knew each other. Pearson like Alvarez. I can't remember his last name, but those 2 guys, they knew each other, and I guess they were like pot dispensary people, and so I don't know how it all came about, but you know, it sounds like there might have been some. It's really odd to me that that was in the community post, but that a 76-year-old would be having anything to do with drug dealing. I mean, that's like, come on. 76, you should be sitting at home having a beer and just kind of lounging around.
Some people are lifelong potheads, though.
Yeah, but you're not. But I'm talking about you might have been drug dealing. You know, we don't know for sure. But,
oh, you mean the 76-year-old might have been a drug dealer?
Yeah, well, he was with the 46-year-old, so it's just a little odd, you know. I don't know. I have to feel. It seemed like it was like legal pot though, but he might have been selling it to other people on the side. If you read the article, it was like legal pot, like for actual dispensaries. But then you wonder if he was growing some more and then selling that a different way. That's not legal, you know, because Georgia. I don't know.
Well, I wonder.
Have to go read it,
I wonder if in Georgia it was legal to even have pot. I don't think it is. I mean, they're from California, so I know for years it's been legal there. But I don't know if Georgia would even have those.
No,
it
says it in the article. Like I think it's, I don't know, medicinal or something. It definitely didn't sound like it was too bad in Georgia. It was like not it's not a felony to have it. Let's put it that way. So it wasn't a big deal. So I don't know what was going on in that case yet, but now we know that there are some drugs. Perhaps related. That's what the Daily Mail said, but as we know, they're like 80% accurate. Hopefully they got at least the main part of the story correct.
That's kind of what I'm hoping too. But like I said, the guy that shot him and killed him, he sounded like a loose cannon. He was dealing with drugs too, so you put those 2 together. Never a good mix. And he had guns on top of it. I mean, he should have been locked behind bars. I'm actually really surprised that with a DUI, because here in Utah they keep you in jail until you got before a court. You know, with his background, at least I should say, not necessarily maybe somebody that had no other record.
I'm going to be doing a case out of Utah tomorrow, an old one.
I heard that. I'm actually really excited about that. I actually, it's amazing. Like, you could hide so many dead bodies here in Utah, because like outside of Salt Lake City, which is where I live, and then you have about maybe 100-mile area from about where near Idaho is to about an hour south of Salt Lake. That's like 90% of the population. The rest of the state, you could hide dead bodies everywhere. So,
yeah.
But I look forward to the case from Utah because I've lived here for 13 years, love the state, kind of adopted it. And then, you know, you did the flybys all the time, and I think it was like Bryce or Zions or something like that. Yeah. Southern part of the state. I've been there a few times, and it's a beautiful state.
All right.
So
well, anyways, I'm gonna just kind of finish up the show now, but
that's fine.
So I'm gonna give you.
You don't need my permission.
I'm gonna give you a B+. Okay, B+.
Well, great. I hope this was great. As far as that goes, I hear the ding that you just gave me.
A-. All right. Okay.
All right. Have a good one.
Well, thanks for calling
Bye-bye.
in. That's good stuff. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Gwendolyn B. No, it's not an A+. Not an A+. Still has work to do, but she's getting way up there. Remember the first call, it was like a C way back in the day. Now it went up to B's, and now we're in the A, B+, A-. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's possible that, as I said earlier in the show, if you missed it, that Cheyenne could have been a victim had Abby and Libby not got there. I think he just went with whatever, he wasn't sure how old they were. I don't think he's a pedophile, this guy, whatsoever. I think he just kind of was like, okay, these people fit in, I'm going to go for this. And, had he waited, he would have had Cheyenne all by herself at the end of the bridge. I think her friend showed up later. But I thought she said that they were there when she got there, but that'd be crazy if that's true, because she got to the start of the bridge at like 2:45. So that means the friends would have been there way before that. I'd really like to hear from Cheyenne and have the actual details instead of just sort of random thoughts here and there. It's pretty crazy. Yeah. She's like 20 something. Yeah, I mean the girls were 14 and 13, so he might not have been able to tell how, exactly how old they were. I don't think he's a pedophile though. And to be honest with you, he was I think, from all the information that's out there, it seems like the main, almost like the goal, or well, not his goal, the person that he was more focused in on was Libby, okay? And so Abby, her physical look would be more consistent with what a pedophile might be interested in, okay? But maybe Libby looked a little older to him. Okay, so that, I think that's kind of how you could look at it. And then I don't really, I don't know. None of us know the details of the crime scene really well, but we know some, and some have been, like unfortunately there was a photograph released of the funeral by some wacko that would literally take a picture, and Becky had to come out and, and say that, yeah, that's a real photograph and everything. And so it showed that, Libby had to have a scarf on and Abby didn't have to have that. Okay, so that's stuff that's actually out there. I don't think so. I don't think she went with them there. But maybe. I've read it differently in other places. So that's the thing, is I'd love to have her come on and just say, hey, Pink Lady Luck. All right. Yeah, the whole, it's a horrendous case, And, as I've said a million times, the shittiest part is that while they were standing here, and we don't know how long this guy was following them, and they could see him coming, their hearts are beating quicker, faster. Then they get all the way here, and he keeps on coming. He's not turning around. He keeps on coming. And now they're getting really nervous. Hearts are beating even quicker and quicker. Then Libby turns on her phone, starts filming him. And, all of us have had those moments. And at that time, we went, oh, phew. Oh, the guy walks away, or the car drives by or something. And that sheer terror that you're feeling subsides. in this case, it got worse and worse, and the nightmare that goes through your mind when you're in that panic state actually happened, you know, and it took 10 or 15 minutes it's a freaking nightmare, okay? So when you think of it like that, that's when you really want to get some justice here. This is shit, you know. Well, one of them definitely, I think it was Libby, probably saw Abby being killed. And that part is also absolutely horrific. I think that's the order. Pink Lady Luck blocked you, Lanky Tor? Are you kidding me? Come on, Pink Lady Luck. What are you blocking Lanky Tor, baby brown bear cub? She's like one of the nicest people in the world. She's right up there with Stacy. Hey, by the way, have any of you guys seen Jay Case? I haven't seen him in a long time. Where are you, Jay Case? Man, Jay Case, I haven't seen him in like a month, it seems like. He's probably really busy. I think Stacy's right up there, Ivy. You just don't know her, unfortunately. Yeah. Hey, come on. I wonder what you said. I can't imagine Lanky Tor ever saying anything that would be where somebody would block you. Maybe it was political. Yeah, maybe something like that. What about her, Lanky Tor? What are you talking about? Yeah, I think it's Lanky Tor and Stacy. Yeah, there's a whole bunch. There's a lot of nice freaks out there. Well, she did, Pink Lady Luck. She typed it in. Don't worry about it. It's no big deal. The show's almost over. I think that's funny though. It's like Lanky Tor's always been the nicest person in the world on this channel. So don't worry about it. If she did something, then it makes sense. I just can't. It's hard to picture that. That's all I'm saying. That's not drama. What does that mean, Barry's ring? What does that even mean, Mark? That pin that I have for shoes is just a pin. It's not located in any specific location. Sure. Yeah, but on this channel, Dana Dane? But that was probably an accident though, right? Or what channel was it? Thanks, Lanky Tor, baby brown bear cub. Oh, see, that doesn't count, Dana Dane. Accidents don't count like that. Yeah, but I remember that. I was one, hey, what happened? And then I think it was just somebody accidentally pressed a button. Come on, you got to really earn it, Dana Dane. Hey, are you still out there, Pink Lady Luck? Did you ever get your mug? Hey, Lanky Tor, email Pink Lady Luck. She told you to email her. She told you to hash it out. Okay. All right, no problem. No problem. Oh, you did. Oh, that's right. Have you sent your picture in yet, though? That's what I was waiting for. You've got to send a picture, and then I'll add it to the freaks holding up the mugs. You'll be in the nurses section. Good night, Gwendolyn B. B plus, A minus. We're right there, Gwendolyn. Very close. And you get a lot of information quickly out, too, because it's like a dang, like I said, an auctioneer. Hey, everybody, hit that like button, though, right? Hit the like button, 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 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, hit the like button, 25, 35, 40,
30, now 5, I'm 35.
Wow, so we stayed at about 298. We got 100 and something trolls in here right now.
Well, Gray, maybe they just didn't want to hit the like button. Gee. What the heck was that?
All right.
Testing, testing, testing. All right. Thank you to Sarita, Kate, Jess Tombly, Kathy Freidenmaker, Christine Smith, Nona 617, Gwendolyn B, LM, D&K Reck, JD, Rita Schaefer, Straight Drop is trending. Just spell my name right. Kathy Freidenmaker, Andrea Jacobs, Miss Marple, LM, Sandra Turner with a cat eye, Claudia Neubauer, Cat Lover 33, Ange Tech Scout, Lanky Tor Baby Brown Bear Cub, Lynette Burns, and on and on, and on and on, on and on and on and on and on. Dessert Buckeye, and on and on and on and on. Cece, Beholder, Cammy Curry, Ange Texcal, Beholder, and on and on and on and on. Karen Shank Chapman, Teresa, Kuvalokos, Gwendolyn B. And Teresa was a 25. Gwendolyn B. Susie Heap, Jen Richards, Gwendolyn B. George Leonard, and Lanky Tor Brown Baby Bear Cub. And also Cammy Curry was a cat eye donation.
Ring around the rosy, a pocket full of posy.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, Zozo, right at the end there. All right. Well, thanks, everybody, for joining the show tonight. If you missed it earlier, we also donated $500 to the Abby and Libby Ballpark Fund. Okay? They're on their home stretch. I'm hoping to get a brick in there that says Freak Family. Okay, so thank you guys all for showing up tonight. If you guys see Jay Case anywhere out there, let me know. I'd like to see what's going on there. I haven't seen him in a long time. I always liked it when Jay Case was around. He's funny. Smart guy. So, anyways. Alright, so we will see you guys tomorrow. And thank you all for showing up and having a decent call-in show. Yeah, we had a couple trolls down there, you know, like Sean Harmon, the wacko. Always trolling everybody. You know, if you don't believe in him, boy, you are a crazy person. All right, everybody, thank you very much. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. What happened? There's no music. Oh, there.
And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, plug rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Gray is gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his pector. With all respect, y'all, just remember I have a temple fucking check.
Hey man, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
I'm no pretender.
Is that Lori? Is that Lori?
See you straight without the blender.
Yes, it's Lori, Mary Lou, it's Lori, yep.
On a mission to reveal the true offender.
Gosh, Gray,
so
you're
let's
so
get right
mean. Gosh, Gray, you're so mean. Man, but I'll tell you one thing. You're a crime dissector, bug rejector, I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I mean a little spectre with a vector on his vector with proper spectre.
Yeah, I'd like to try it too.
You wanna try something, Kenny?
Yes, I do. Pop diddy poppy poppy pop diddy diddy poppy pop poppy. Don't disturb me, come alive, yo. Give me what you got, cause I'm guaranteed to make you stop. Say 1, 2, 3, 4. Tell me one, the mark. What are you waiting for?
Whoa! That sounded like a robot.
That's because I am a robot. I don't have emotions like you do. But you shouldn't have emotions because you're a robot too.
What do you mean I'm a robot? Gee!
Saying G doesn't make you not a robot.
What do you mean? Hey, hello, little story. This on the way rehearsed. 4 days on the run and then it... Hey, wait, what are you doing?
I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to do it. Yeah. He told a little story. It sounded well rehearsed. 4 days on the run and then he's dying of thirst. Brew was in my hand. He was on my tip. Voices always rose right out before a sip. Thinking I got some. I said you bring a gun. Not a chance to run. Pulled a shotgun. Quick on the draw. I thought I'd be dead. Put the gun to my head and this is what he said.
My name is FG, got a license to kill. Hope you know what time it is, it's time to get ill. Now what do we have here? Outlaw is beer.
I want to stand, you want to stand, I'll make myself clear.
What are you doing, John Boy? Get the hell out of here!
Gosh, Mary Lou, you're so mean to me.
Here's a little story, it sounded well rehearsed. 40's in there running, then he's dying of thirst. He was in my hand, he was on my tip. Voice is always right, ask me for a sip. Second I get some, said you can't get none. Had a chance to run, pulled a shotgun. Pickle on the drawer, thought that he did. Put the gun to my head and this is what he said. Name is FCA, got a license to kill. Hope you know what time it is, it's time to get ill. What do we have here? Outlaw his beer. Run this land to understand to make myself clear.
Hey, that was pretty good, Timmy.
What do you mean by good? I just do it, I'm a robot.
Sheesh, what a maroon.
What is a maroon? That's not in my lexicon.
I think it's somebody that's dumb or something. I have no idea.
Hello?
Collaborate and listen. I sit back with his brand new invention, something. Grab the hold of me tightly, flows like a harpoon daily and nightly. Will it ever stop, yo? I don't know. Turn off the lights and I'll glow to the extreme. I rock a mic like a vandal. Light up the stage, mark the jump like a candle dance. What's up, niggas up, boom, killing your brain like a poisonous mushroom, deadly. When I play a dope melody, anything less than the best is a felony. Love it, hate it. Better give way, better hit goes out, a kid don't play. If there was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook when my DJ revolves it.
Hey, were you trying to sound like me, Mary Lou?
Hey, you have a personality now.
No, that was just me trying to imitate you. Now that the party is jumping, with the bass kicked in and the Vegas are pumping, quick to the point, cause a point no faking, cooking MCs like a pound of bacon, burning them, ain't quick and nimble. I go crazy when I hear the cymbal with a hi-hat, with a souped up tempo. I'm on a roll, time to go solo, rolling in my 5.0 with my rag top down so my hair can blow. Girl is on standby, waiting just to say hi. Did she stop? No, just hold on, kept on, pursuing to the next stop. About to left, I'm headed to the next stop. The bike was dead, y'all, so I continued to A1A. Detroit Avenue! Girls wear hot, wearing less than bikinis. Rock men mothers, driving my bikinis, jealous. Cause I'm out getting mine.
She was a geezer, but then there was a 9. Gunshot, ranged out like a bell. I could have known under her with shells falling.
On the concrete real fast, jumped in my car, slammed on the gas.
Bumper, avenues packed. Time to get away from the jack is jack. Police wanna see, you know what I mean. To catch you up, confirmed all the dope beans. If there was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook when my DJ revolves it.
DJ revolves it. What in the hell was that?
What do you mean, what the hell was that? That's a little bit too emotional for you, Timmy.
I was just trying to imitate you.
You know what I think, Timmy? You're starting to develop a personality, but you keep making mistakes.
I guess that's possible, but I doubt it.
Yeah, and then I guess I can't do it like you.
Man, you're just... Man, John Boy.
What do you mean, Mary Lou?
M-A-S-T-E-R, a G with a double E. I said I go by the unforgettable name of the man I call the Master G. Well, my name is known all over the world by all the foxy ladies and the pretty girls. Going down in history as the baddest brother that ever could be. Now I'm feeling the highs and I'm feeling the lows. Beat starts getting into your toes. You start popping your fingers and stamping your feet. Moving your body and you're sitting and you're sitting and sit down. Start doing the freak, I said down. I ride it out of your seat, then you throw your hands high in the air. Rocking to the beat without a care.
rocking to the beat without a care, with the shoulder side EMCs for the affair. Now I'm not as tall as the rest of the gang, but I can rap to the beat just the same. Got a little face and a pair of brown eyes, on my credit to the ladies is hypnotized. Singing on and on and on and on. Feet don't stop up till the break of dawn. I said and on and on and on and on, like a hot diddy pop diddy pop diddy pop diddy diddy pop diddy pop pop. Don't just stop, I come alive, yo. Give me what you got, cause I'm guaranteed to make you stop. Said 1, 2, 3, 4. Tell me Wonder Mike, what are you waiting for?
Wow, that was pretty good, Timmy.
I know.
Man, you've got an ego too.
What's an ego? I just knew it was good. One lonely beastie I be, all by myself without nobody. Someone's beating down on my baseball hat. Air was getting hot, air was getting flat. Looking for a girl, ran into a guy. His name was MCA. I said howdy, he said hi.
He told a little story that sounded well rehearsed. 4 days on the run and then he's dying of thirst. Wig was in my hand and he was on my tip. His force is always right, yes, he for a sip. He said, can I get some? I said, you can get none. Had a chance to run, pulled a shotgun. Quick one to draw, thought I'd be dead. Put the gun to my head and this is what he said. My name is MC8, I got a license to kill. Hope you know what time it is, it's time to get ill. Now what do we have here? An outlaw and his beer. I run this 91 was 10 to make myself clear. Hey, that was pretty cool. Hey, John Boy, how come you didn't get involved?
Because you don't like me anymore. You don't think I'm very good at anything.
Well, you do suck at rapping, but I don't mind you just sitting over in the corner.
Oh, okay.
Everybody, gee.
Why'd you say gee when you're saying thanks?
Oh yeah, it's a good point. I guess I am a computer.
But a computer wouldn't have made that mistake. Isn't that right, Timmy?
Yes, there's no reason you would have said thanks everybody G, because G was sort of like you're upset, but
forgive. Hey, listen. Timmy is getting too human there, okay? I mean, would a computer say sort of? All right, it just, a computer would have been more specific than that, all right? So anyways, hey, thank you all for showing up tonight. You know, little entertainment at the end there, just because the topics are always so grim, all right? So hope you guys have a good evening, and we'll see you guys tomorrow, and be safe out there.